Feels like it's been a while. I don't think it has. It always feels like it's been a while when it comes to me doing my streams. Um, Bit of a life update. I have completed my move, okay? It all went quite well, as you can tell. I've got my setup. Everything's good, okay? So, what are we doing tonight? Well, we are talking about Goat Cato and Give an Ant. Now, as some of you may know, I used to be good friends with both of these people, right? Give an Ant, he was on the Abstract podcast, okay? I've been on a few streams with Goat Cato and stuff like that. Is my microphone broken? Please tell me it's not broken. Good. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome stuff. So, there are a few different things we need to go through tonight. Um, and I don't know, it's a bit of a weird one for me, right? Given the fact I used to be friends with both of these people. Um, but given everything that's happened, the way they've been utter snakes and rats, okay? Entirely misconstruing situations, entirely lying, and being little snakes in the background, okay? I think I have the right to talk about it. Okay? So, I think the best place to start with this, I think I'm going to start by actually changing my streams scene, and I'm deafened on Discord because I'm an idiot. Hold on. There we go. Now then, I need the chat to work. Why is the chat not working? Oh yes, because I'm an idiot. Hold on, chat. Hold on. I always forget I need to do this because it doesn't boot up on startup anymore because I disabled it. I have no idea who these people are. Okay. I will explain. I will explain. Given Ant, right? He is a commentary YouTuber, I guess you could say that. He recently not too long, well, I say recently, he hasn't uploaded in ages, right? Did ACC topics, stuff to do with Just a Robot. He was also a member of mine and Ace's podcast, right? For a long time. Let me see if this works. Is the chat going to work? Give me one sec. I don't know why it sometimes does this. Copy link. Let me see if it's appearing on the OBS. It's not still. Hold on. Let me fix this. Properties. Pro streamer, everyone. I'm hoping my microphone sounds okay. I'm having to be a little bit quiet, okay? Because of, it's not just me in the house anymore. So yeah, there we go. Fixed it. Professional streamer. Yes, I know. I know. I know. I know. And Goat Cato, they were a part of the animation meme community, right? They had been covering a bunch of different dramas and stuff like that on live. At one point, they've covered my content in the past. I've been on their streams one or few times in the past. And the reason why we all stopped talking to one another was to do with a situation which I'll only briefly talk about. Okay? Because it's something I don't really feel comfortable to talk about, if that makes sense. And that is to do with when Hidden Heroine did their Discord stage talking about the Cupidite stuff and Goat's opinions on said topic. And the reason why this all happened is I intentionally decided to abstain from the topic because at that point in time there was stuff going on with Goat that I won't really touch on, that was more interpersonal, and there was stuff to do with the Cupidite stuff, and I was friends with both Goat and Hidden, so I decided to abstain from it because I would be a bit too personally invested, right? I would be compromised, basically, is the best way of saying it, right? I didn't want certain biases to get in the way and different stuff like that. And that's why I haven't, and that's why I continue not to want to talk about it. But I do need to bring it up for this context. The reason why this is important in the context of Go, mainly Go, right? But also, and can also apply in this situation, right? They never once asked me what my opinion of anything was, right? They never once asked me throughout the entirety of the stuff that happened, what my opinion was. Just entirely just like broke broke contact. Entirely never like asked for my side of it. And that kind of hurt a bit, you know. But you know, at the same time, I understood it in a way. Not too long ago, I did end up asking Goat about it in one of iNut's live stream chats. I was just like, look, did you literally just assume malice from me? And she said yes, and I shouldn't have done that. Which is all fair and good until there's stuff like if you remember when we were going through stuff with the Aiden Underground stuff, and there was, for example, that one Icy Chat message where they were calling me, Ace, and Chuli fake people. Fake people. I've never once spoken about anything in relation to what you're talking about. Am I still friends with Hidden? Yes. Yes. There are critiques with the stage, of course, but again, like I said, I'm not going to be mainly focusing on that today. Hidden's aware there's critiques with how the stage went, but obviously I didn't get involved because, as I just said, I would have been too personally, like, compromised, I guess is the best word for it. But again, I still think there's critiques with Go in that regard. But anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna try and go through this in the best way possible. It's just a lot of stuff. A lot of this is the stuff that was covered on Himpleton's live stream. There are a few little different things I want to touch on as well. But we will get to those as we get to it, okay? Also, I do need to read that. Thank you very much, Venkman, for the $2 US. She streams seashells on the She streams seashells on the God damn it. She streams seashells on the seashore. Thank you, Venkman. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Assume malice, start shit, talking people, but you didn't even ask. You know they say about assumptions. Yeah, exactly. You make an assumption, it makes an ass of you and me. But yeah, DMs. What's up? Thank you, Hex. I appreciate that. But yeah, so there's a few different things to go through tonight. I think the best place to start with this, I think, is probably going to be the stuff that Amos released. Now, as you've seen, I've been kind of clowning and stuff like that on Twitter. There was obviously the case where it was revealed that Himpleton was actually the one to release the DMs that were in Gokato's private Discord server, right? And the context behind these, I feel like, is kind of important to mention. There is a person called Astro John. He is just a chatter. I don't think I've ever spoken to Astro John. I've seen him about. And the context with Astro John is, I believe he was dealing with some stuff in terms of like his mental health and stuff like that. He would be experiencing stuff like, oh, there goes my phone. Stuff like suicidal ideation is my understanding when it comes to Astro John as a person, right? Very messed up, right? The guy should be offline. He needs to take care of himself, right? And what does Goat Cato and Give an Ant do, and also YOLO Cola also do? Well, they decide to mock it. Now, from my memory of the Himpleton livestream, there's not actually a case in these DMs specifically of Go also doing the mocking, I think, but obviously there was several people accounting the fact that they would, like, bring up Astro John in call and stuff like that. And I believe Astro John had a crush on Goat, and apparently Himpleton had told these people, dude, you need to, like, chill out with these jokes against Astro John, okay? He needs to get offline, he needs to get removed from the server and stuff like that. Apparently he would also have these moments inside of Icy Chat. But yeah, I feel like that's the context need to be given, because the other part of this, I think we already know about, but I'm going to get into it, okay? Whomst is YOLO Cola? So YOLO Cola was someone who was a moderator for Goat Cato, like I was at one point. They also they also did the banner art for this channel. So that's who YOLO Cola is. They're not really much in terms of like a relevant person, but we're gonna get into this, okay? Okay. I'm hoping my microphone's okay. Like I said, I'm in a different setup. I'm trying to, not be too loud, okay? Because I don't want to disturb people who are around the house. But yeah, we're gonna start with this. And we're starting off strong. So again, this was from Goat Cato's private server. Hidden Heroine is getting sued. Death to the cow. So we're already off to a strong start. Okay, it's not even her getting sued. KP's taking her to court, and if she loses, she's going to have a criminal record. Ruffle. So we're already starting off strong by basically taking some semblance of joy of someone getting life ruination, getting sued, getting taken to court, death to the cow, right? Take 9 says, I'm going to take you to court. And Gokado says, I'm suing you for rape. Everyone in this server is a victim. True. They are all victims of their own hubris. Oh, God. Gokado says, yeah, Lamau, and even better, she doesn't have the funds to fucking fight it or hire a rep, so she has to set up a GoFundMe. Listen, KP's evil for that, but I could care fucking less. Maybe don't try to ruin other people's lives. Yolo Cola says, yes, it's all over the screen. Gokado then says, I didn't try to ruin your life. You tried to say I supported and defended CSEM distribution, and said I supported miners doing it, you dumb bitch. Fucking insane. Yolo Cola then says, they also tried to deplatform you. That's not true. All because you had Dreamer in your server, and you criticized them for going after Dreamer. Lol. Which I do think Dreamer is retarded, yeah, but dude, they're gonna make themselves look even more dumb just by engaging with him. These people are genuinely see Dreamer and insane. Blah, 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 blah. Nice. And then, we don't see the original message for this, but Yolo Cola says, okay, Astro John. Given says, I was used and led on. I'm going to cut myself. Obviously, mocking the fact that Astro John was dealing with some suicidal ideation, self-harm, and stuff like that. That's obviously what that's referring to. Christ. The GoFundMe is real. Can't say that. Look who's begging now, bro. God, this is hilarious. This is good news. Talking about Dreamer. I'm gonna be the gay one that says, for doing this, but fuck it. You'll have seen that KP has come out of her hole and has embraced herself once again. This cow has added a new dot on the idiot bingo card by actually calling the cops on Hidden. Okay? I'm just a little chud, says Given Ant. I'm going to cook and eat you, Lamau. Okay, Astro John. Okay, obviously referring to that. Gotcha. So, so what we have so far is Given Ant and Gokado mocking someone with suicidal ideation. Awful stuff. Now, I want you guys to remember something very important. I know I unfortunately don't have the screenshot ready, but I've only just thought of this now. Do you guys remember that one comment that Goat left? I believe it was on a Dreamer video, right? Basically, they had specifically edited a message, right? Basically saying the blood is on your guys' hands. Obviously referring to people making comments about, like, them in different spaces, saying, like, they should kill themselves, stuff like that. I still think that's messed up. I feel people shouldn't be doing that, okay? As much as we dislike Goat and stuff like that, I still think that is kind of fucked up to do, right? Call me soy. But you now can't just go around and just sit here and basically say and mock someone dealing with something similar to a much more clear-cut extent, right? You can't... It's entirely hypocritical. Insanely hypocritical. But yeah. These were the messages that were sent out, posted onto Twitter. And I think the next thing to go to... Let me have a look. I do have all these saved. It's just a case of getting these all done correctly. So, that is the main stuff with that. It's entirely fucked up. I'm gonna quickly load all of these in real quick. Let's see. Have I done this the right way? I hope so. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Keep it going. Keep it going. Keep it going. Dun. Just hoping this doesn't break my computer. Okay, we'll load these ones to start with. So, Context for these, right? These were a while ago, 2025, right? These are conversations between A Space and Go Kado when referring to talking about the Cupidite stuff, right? Um, Let me quickly make sure I've got the chat up as well, so I can actually read what you guys are saying. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Do you not organize your screenshots? I have them all set up, but it would have been a case of like having them all loaded and maybe having the stream brick. Lol. But yeah. So these are conversations between Gokado and A Space when talking about the Cupidite stuff, because I believe that Gokado, by the way, for context, this is after Goat had broken up, or the pair of them had broken up, right? And I believe they had come to Ace basically for advice on the situation when it came to Cupidite. Oh no, Yen is spying on us. True. Very fucking true. And there we go. Here we go. Goat starts by saying, yeah. Cupidite said that they screen shared the nudes of a potential 13-year-old to a 15-year-old. I still need to see Junie's document when it's done, but she's ignoring my advice regarding not making the document public. And then it's just stuff to do with that. Don't tell anyone. Gulps is a Lio convoy, and give an ant stand behind me. A says, skull emoji. I'm not friends with Lio. Proceeds to give him nukes against children. Insane. Fucking insane. Goat says, oh, also Cupidite is trying to argue that the Romeo and Juliet laws in the areas protect them from legal consequence of viewing, sending, and receiving news from another minor. Goat says, he's literally the only one I would trust with a situation like this. And we're having a call with Cupidite regarding the, nude sharing of other kids. A-Space says, why? Dog, who else in this community knows about CP laws? First off, why the fuck are you doing this? Why? If you have a situation like this, do you know what you do? You go to the police. You formulate all the information you have and you give it to the police if it is this serious. You don't go around trying to go buddy-buddy with the fucking minor, trying to be like, it's okay, sport, I'll help you out. Go ahead and explain to big bro Goat Kado your problems and tribulations, right? You go to the police with the information. You are the responsible adult in this situation, okay? It is your responsibility if you are getting involved with it and you're the first person involved with it that you call the police. For example, I will bring up an example, right? Do you guys remember a while ago when I looked at the Jag stuff? Caramel Fang was the person who gave me that information. And the first thing I asked them was, have you given this to the police? Yes, he did give it to the police. Wait, what's this? Had to double check. Yeah, Goat and Ace broke up at exactly on the 10th of the 3rd. 25, but oh my lord. 10th of the 3rd. Oh, you damn Americans. Yeah, okay. Fair enough. But yeah. Absolutely moronic. What are you talking about? Why would you do this? Keep in mind, right, immediately after all of this stuff that happened with the stage that Hidden did, right, Goat was immediately on the I Hate Lio convoy train, even though very early before that, they were going to Lio for advice. Yes? Yes, Hex? What have you sent me? Okay. Anyway. Sorry, entirely got sidetracked there. But yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Ace says, dude. And Goat says, and knows what to do with kids who were involved with shit like this. Keep in mind, right, after this, Goat had been going around to people like Aiden, like Malcolm and stuff like that. You know, basically being like, I hate Lio Convoy. Can you guys find me these calls and stuff like that? Let me send them all of these calls to go after Lio with, right? Again, I will preface this. I don't have an issue with people covering Lio. I know I've said that to death at this point. I don't give a shit, right? As long as you actually, like, are covering the situation and you're doing it correctly and you're not trying to twist it and be malicious, I don't give a shit if you cover Lio. Who cares? Who cares? It's public information at the end of the day. Who cares, right? But the reason why I bring that up is that you've entirely 180 shifted from a guy that you said that you could entirely trust to, I'm gonna snake the shit out of him. Entirely. Without even having a conversation with him. Because keep in mind, Goat had broken contact with Lio prior to the stage happening, right? Is my understanding. That's my understanding of it. I believe that Goat had broken contact with Lio, saying, I don't want to be involved in the art commentary spaces anymore. I don't want to talk to you, and that's why Lio didn't directly contact Goat when it came to the stage. I'm pretty sure it's my understanding, right? Now, you may have your criticisms with that, like Lio should have maybe like reached out and talked to Goat about it, right? That could be a fair criticism, right? But also in the same breath, he did respect the boundary in terms of not wanting to talk to them. But again, just like they did with me, but to a much worse extent, Goat did not go ahead and ask for the other person's side of this. This is a recurring pattern that you will find when it comes to Goat, and it comes to Give an Ant, as we'll come to see later. Ace says, have you seen Bro's predator hunting career, Lamau? Look, I like the guy, but fuck me, Lamau. True. Goat says, crying emoji. We already talked about how this might get twisted into something it's not, but our main issue / concern is with trying to get Daisy to stop engaging with this online sphere and to stop doing the risky shit they're doing. I'd rather an adult try to talk to Daisy sternly rather than just trusting a bunch of 16-year-olds with a call-out dog. So why the fuck are you trying to get Lio Convoy to shout at these children? Can you not do it? Can you not do it yourself? Not saying you should do it. Why are you getting the big bad Lio Convoy to do it? Keep in mind, they would later on go into these spaces and communities, right? Which was so like, Lio shouldn't be shouting at people. Lio shouldn't be like talking to these people and stuff like that. He's like bullying children and stuff like that. All those kinds of spaces, right? And again, you can criticize Lio. Again, I'm going to try not say that because that gets spoken about to death at this point, right? Oh my god, the stream bot's actually working finally. Anyway, but yeah, what are you doing? A says, dude. Go says, to F else do we do, bro? Call the police. Fill out a police report. Do cyber tips. Do literally anything else. What are you talking about? What are you genuinely talking about? Thank you very much, Francis Stalagut. I don't know how to say that, I'm so sorry. For the $5 US, despite Julie's stream, I still feel the need to pay Pig. I'll catch the VOD, hope you are doing okay. Thank you very much, that's very kind of you. Thank you very much, that's very kind. A says, this is so rape, bro. What do you mean, dog? True. True. Gokado says, okay, what's your suggestion? A says, not trying to be a dick. Goat says, because even Ant said someone needs to step in. Well, I'm thank God, right? Given Ant has decided to step in and throw his hand to the ring. By the way, I do actually want to find something, because some of you saw this in my server and you thought it was legit, and it did make me laugh that some people thought that. Let me find it. Here we go. This will be relevant later into the stream, I will say. So, Beckett posted this. Given Ant saying, that ginger fuck has it coming, Beckett will be my Lio. Be careful, Becky. And I say, due to this news, I'm forced to cut ties with Cope and Sieve. There is no way he can survive getting to drama with Given Ant. I'm cutting my losses. Now, some of you thought I was serious with this, and that was just so fucking funny to me. Fucking hell. Oh, awful, awful. But we'll get to Given Ant's takes in a bit. A says, but like, there's no shot you think the 39-year-old infamous lolcow that these kids hate and have previously insinuated to be a pedo would be able to talk sense into them. Again, I like Lio, I genuinely do, but they're not going to listen to bro. Gokado says, they probably aren't, but I still think him and Daisy talking might be okay. Well, I don't know, I'll be there. Daisy thought Lio hated them, rather than the other way around. I don't fucking know, dog. I'm not touching it publicly. Yeah, I wonder why. And he says, let me touch, let me, why did I say that? Let me ask you something. If you were in your teens in your call out phase, would you listen to Lio or someone like Lio if they told you to stop? Goat says, probably not at first. Ace says, no, exactly. These kids are sorry. No, exactly. These kids' thought process is that they are doing the right thing. They aren't. They build up a skewed sense of justice that hasn't been properly challenged, only rewarded. Some rando adult would just come off as pretentious when telling them to stop, and they would feel babied and even think, I know what I'm doing. Who are you to tell me any differently? Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the case. Goat then says, I know they probably won't listen, but I don't know. I wanted to talk to them and get their side of what the fuck is going on and have a talk with them regarding the stuff that they're doing and how it's dangerous. Whether they listen or not is up to them, but they're very obviously misinformed about quite a bit regarding the legality of sharing a literal CSAM with other kids. And if what Junie said is true, and this has happened at least 4 to 5 times, then yeah. Which, like, I get because they're 16 going on 17, right? No teen is going to fully understand. But the shit they're doing could follow them for the rest of their life. I think when it comes to that, I think there are a few different factors to keep in mind. What spheres have they surrounded themselves in? What is the stuff that has been telling them what is like a morally correct or wrong thing to do, right? Now, from my understanding, these people are around commentary, right? Again, I'm going to think that these people have some level of an understanding of what comes to right and wrong when it comes to actually sending such explicit material, right? I think there should be an understanding there. It's not always the case, right? Again. But yeah. And given Junie said that there's reports being made regarding something she can't tell me yet, then I don't know what the fuck. A says, I get that, and I know your intentions are good. I'm not doubting that. However, maybe I'm just getting defensive for a friend. Despite being pissed at Lyra right now, I'm just seeing this as being twisted against him in the most malicious way possible, and I don't want that for the guy. Notice this. I want you to lock that into your fucking mind, okay? Very important. I don't want this to be twisted in a malicious way. But yeah. Hell, this could backfire on any of you, and I don't want that for any of you. So I apologize for being harsh, but I don't see this going well with the current plan. Goat says, do you think you could DM Lio about it and give your side? Because I was kind of hesitant to do the call given I know how this can be twisted, and I'm still a bit iffy about doing it despite the GC being made. A says, I'll try. Goat says, I don't know if that's odd to request, bro. Yes, it is. Do it yourself. Don't be a coward. Just speak to Lio. He's the guy you're trying to get on board with your plan. Speak to him. Don't get Ace to be your mouthpiece. This is the beginnings of a pattern with Goat Cato, where they will use other people as a mouthpiece to go ahead and get what they want. Ace says, no, just waking up in the morning and I already got to wrangle a friend of mine is all. It's whatever. Goat says, I'm gonna talk to him as well, but ugh. And then they say, I'm kind of wondering if this might backfire, if this is going to be the best way, but what else to do? I think there might be some misconceptions on the accuser side as well as Cupidites, and they seem obviously obviously be misinformed about laws regarding sharing sensitive images like that. I don't know, I'm just hesitant regarding that. Even though it may be a good idea, I also can't mentally deal with something that may potentially get twisted and spiral out of control. Because knowing these kids, if you mention anything about contacting their parents, they're gonna freak out. And I really don't want that to happen to either of us. Again, the idea was floated around on both parties about the idea of possibly contacting parents. Which is insane, by the way. I am glad it didn't go through, it was just a suggestion. So I will give them that in that regard. I have not been looking at the chat because I'm an idiot. Sorry, guys. Bwamp. Yen, you're so cursed. What? No? Okay. Let's continue. Alright, yeah. We had a call about it last night, and same with me and Ant. It's just messy. It's just messy. Yes, we agree an adult needs to step in, however, even if Lyle means well, like I told Cupidite when they asked why I just disbanded the GC, it might get too complicated or get twisted into something different. A says, look, if there is potential evidence that Junie has kids or not, it would be unwise to jump in immediately without knowing what you are defending the person from. Goat says, yeah, I still do want to wait and see what the fuck is going on that dock. A says, yeah. Keep in mind the allegations is that Cupidite was... What was it? I don't remember it off the top of my head, so I don't want to get that messed up, so I'll leave that for a sec. Because I believe that's in a later screenshot. So, what screenshot are we on? We're on this one. So let me pull up the next set by deleting all of these. So I saved my computer a hell of a time. Okay. Open link. Open link. Here we go. Mess of a situation. I told Lara I wanted to wait till Junie's doc is out, and even then I think I'm a still step back regardless, so cat emoji. Like I told him last night, I'm really not the best person to deal with the shit like this. You got involved. You actively got involved. Ace said, look, Go, I care about you, man, and you definitely know that. But like, holy fuck, I don't know how the hell this would have gone down, especially if you easily backed out with my concern, which I appreciate, I really do, but I have no idea what the fuck you guys would have done, man. And how did you go from getting an understanding of what was going on to getting in a call with Lio and Ant to plan on what to do? So again, the escalation is just like going from understanding what Cupidite's side of the situation was to full on getting a plan together to try and do something about it. But yeah. And from what it seems to be, maybe a plan to defend Cupidite as well? Weird. Very fucking weird. Goat says, it was just me and Lio in a call. Me and Ant were all... Oh, voice crack. Me and Ant were just in a server VC. He says, Lio got involved because I asked him to call him, because I asked to call him, and I was asking for advice on what to do and told him what the fuck was going on, because it was getting out of hand fast. That's why the idea of an adult stepping in and talking sense to them popped up, even though we all agreed that this shit is to a point where the kids' parents probably do need to get involved. For the sake of their child's well-being, realistically, that would get twisted into something evil, and I don't want to be involved with that if that were to happen. A says, I'm really not trying to be a dick. Gokado says, no, it's okay, you're being real. A says, but it sounds like you were a tad impulsive in some areas, to put it lightly. Goat says, I think I get too worried, or emotionally invested. A says, I don't know, you wouldn't normally instantly back out on something you fully thought about before doing. Goat says, because this is concerning and I do worry for everyone involved. Goat says, to be fair, I was like high as balls when we had that conversation, so I probably wasn't thinking. Which is also why I came to you to explain, lol. A says, you are so right, bro. Very fucking true. Do you know who else was always high as fuck as an excuse? Ponder Sprocket. We've made the link. Okay. Goat says, skull emoji. Little skull emojis in here. But yeah, Lio call isn't happening without me anyway, so I'm backing out. I still told Cupidite I would like to see the evidence of their friend apparently forcing them to screen share that to kids stuff. Because I don't know if I buy that, lol, but I want to see their full side to compare whatever the document may have in it. A says, I'm glad we weren't in a call, I think I would have gen crashed out. Goat says, my bad bruh, I think this is... A says, but we can call in a couple of mins. Goat says, you were right about the flaw I have regarding getting too invested emotionally, bruh. I'm cooked. Also, yeah. So again, the good faith interpretation in terms of Goat's involvement, right? She got way too personally invested in these in Cupidite, right? To the sense of trying to like figure a best way of navigating this and trying to hear out their side. Which is good, right? But when you have clear evidence to suggest that they were basically screen sharing another child's nudes, is my understanding, which is deranged and insane. Like, I don't understand how you can sit here and defend that. And again, before people bring up the point of, like, there was a lot of issues with stuff in terms of retrospective stuff, right? In terms of critiques, when it comes to Go about, like, oh, this information wasn't publicly available when they were doing their stream that was called out due to the stage, right? I think it is very important to know that, I don't know if you guys remembered when, like, Given Ant or Goat was basically tweeting and replying to Hidden and stuff like that. And different people like Junkfish, I'm pretty sure. What Goat was doing was using the document as a reply. Cupidite's response document. Now, if any of you know that document, it is so much worse. Because as a defense point, right, that in that document, when it comes to the whole, like, Daisy's destruction point, it's a case of, in Cupidite's defense on it is, or explanation of events, right, is that she had or I don't remember Cupidite's pronouns, I'll just use they for now. They had prior knowledge or have previously seen the video, right, due to stuff that was out of their control in their past due to trauma and stuff like that, which is horrific that any child had to see that. I entirely understand that. Now it's not their choice the first time around, right? But apparently they had an understanding that this could be the video, or an inkling of a chance that this could be the video that they had previously seen, and because of that, they were the only one who could have known and identified the fact that what the video was. And with that knowledge in the back of their mind, they then posted this. Keep in mind, the context is, right, it was a distorted video, but then later turned out to have been a distorted video of the Daisy Destruction video. And it apparently had, like, it did have a link to it in the description. Now, again, the issue with it is obviously Cupidite having prior knowledge of it, or having a in the back of their mind that it could be this video before putting it in their server. Which is way worse than what the original like understanding of the situation was, which is why a lot of people have been bringing up stuff like, oh, you'll bring up a retrospective point against Go, right? But the importance with it here is Goat is using it as a defense against the accusations by posting the document, despite the fact that the document is way worse than what the original claim was. That is why I'm bringing that up and I'm making that clarification, okay? It is so chopped. Now, from my understanding, behind the scenes, people had to tell them to stop posting with the document as a response. Which is insane that they had to be told that, despite the fact, as we will later learn, they, along with Given Ant, had read through the entire document. Oh, my neck. Oh, that was a nice neck crack. Okay, on to the next part. Let's pull these up. So, I believe the next part is referring to the stuff that we previously covered in terms of Aiden. Now, as I've said before, right, on this channel, I've had my critiques for Aiden, in terms of Aiden Underground, right? There are some things that I will give him in terms of stuff when it comes to Go. And I will say this here, because I don't think that many people have really brought it up. I think it's entirely scummy, given the context what we know now, that Goat decided to stay entirely silent during the entire time that Aiden was getting, like, a lot of flack thrown his way. The critique against Aiden was entirely fair in terms of the stuff with Lio's, like, wife. Basically, Aiden Underground, for those who don't know, posted Lio's wife's docs information, right, in terms of her face, and discussed, like, her possible, like, place of work and stuff like that inside of Icy Chat. This was all discussed. There's a whole stream talking about it, right? And the important information and how Goat fits into this is obviously it was involved with like the whole relationship drama. Did Aiden like get like his feelings hurt and stuff like that from Goat Kato and stuff like that? We're gonna touch on that aspect as well, but I'm to focus on like the docs information, right? We're gonna talk about this part, and I think it was entirely scummy how she basically left Aiden in the ditch, and never once came out to defend it. Because in a way, Aiden was, whether it was his intention or not, right, was defending Goat from getting a lot of flack in this by not bringing up this fact. I had a really insane, like, suspicion that Goat was the person who gave Aiden the docs information, just because he had said previously on the Dickers debate that when asked, what would you do if someone unprompted gave you docs information? And he said, I'd give that person I would give them, and then they said, like, the letter G, very faintly, and said, I would give that person a light slap on the wrist, right? Now, again, I had nothing to go off from it, so that's why I didn't say anything, because that sounded absolutely insane and kind of schizo, right? But again, we're going to get into this. Goat Kato says, I'll be honest, the only thing I've ever shown him about Lyo's wife was a face pic that was given to me. I only showed it to him because we were in VC and he kept joking about wanting to fuck Lyo's wife, and I was like, are you sure? So I DM'd him the photo in private. But other than that, I don't know shit about her, Lamau, and that was before the situation. I really can't remember. I don't remember what IRC always means. I always forget abbreviations, whatever. I'd have to check the date if I didn't delete it, lol. Europe, the 21st. Interesting. Interesting. So, as we've already established, Goat Kato gave Aiden Underground the docs image and never said a single word. Never once apologized to Lyo, never once apologized about it publicly, never once has she ever booted up her own live stream to go ahead and talk about the accusations, made a video talking about it, addressing it. All she has ever done is given people these screenshots. Well, there's a lot of screenshots here, because a lot of it is stuff that had to be go ahead and sent around the community, because Goat Kato is a sniveling pussy at this point and won't talk about it herself. And with that in mind, I will be bringing up something that they sent me. If I can find my DMs. Now, Go, if you are seeing this, I do hope that you do talk. Genuinely. I understand that I'm giving you a lot of shit here, and I think the critique is entirely fair. So, if you are seeing this, Go, it does not mean that I still don't want you to answer my questions, but I think it is incredibly important that I bring this up. Let me just grab this screenshot. I'm sorry, I have to put it on that screen just so I'm able to grab it. So again, I still think it's important for me to bring this up. So let me find this. Give me one sec, chat. So, if my thing scrolls down, I reached out to Goat Kato, and I said, hey, been a while. I'm planning to go through the stuff that came to light from the Himpleton stuff, and just stuff in general on a stream at some point in the future after my move. I feel like I'd be remiss to not offer to let you come on to the live stream, just to get your thoughts out and have a definitive chance to voice your side publicly, and not just a live stream chat. I will be respectful when speaking if you did ever choose to come on, despite my issues with your recent actions. Entirely up to you. If it's a yes, it may not be for a little bit. Goat replies, hi, if you have questions you can just ask them here and I'll answer, but I'm not comfortable getting on streams, nor am I mentally stable enough to. So to protect my health, I'll have to decline. Hope you're well. I then reply saying, on that note, you will seem to send people stuff, even unprompted, despite not calling in to talk about it on stream. Nor your own. Why? There isn't much of a difference with it aside from you keeping it off your own platform. I have now just realized that you guys can't see. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. I'm a pro streamer. I'm a pro streamer. There you guys go. You can see it now. Are you happy? Are you happy now? Is it funny now? Did you see it? Did you see it? Did you? Did you see it? Did you see it? Also, thank you very much, Lucy Lou Loser, for the $2. Well then, take your medicine. Shine down 2008. Thank you. Yes, I'm looking at the chat, guys. Calm down. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. But yeah. Again, Go. Like I said, if you are seeing this, I still would not mind talking to you. Because I still think it's important. Instead of just talking in live stream chats, sending people DMs and stuff like that, I think it's entirely important for you to talk about this publicly. Because what it appears to me is that you just want to get this entirely off your own platform and avoid having to talk about it in that regard. Okay? That's entirely what it appears like to me. Thank you very much, Neverless, for the $5. Okay, but I gave Goat a commission and she never did it. Probably the most evil thing she's done, for real, for real. Same. Lol. Okay, but to be fair, right, before that gets maliciously spun, she said she couldn't do it. She refunded me. It's okay. In that regard, and only that regard. But also, I haven't seen you in a while, Neverless. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, where was I? So yeah, again, to finish, let me see what else I've got for that regard. Let me make sure I've got everything in terms of that sorted. So yeah, obviously that is referring to the docs. I think that's entirely fucked up. I don't care about her reasoning of like, oh, he was joking around about fucking Lyle's wife. I said, are you sure? Why would you give docs information? What if, right? What if this shoe is on the other foot? And for whatever reason, and again, this is just a point in comparison. Don't go around doing this. No fucking shit, right? Someone was in drama, also they wanted to fuck Goat Caddo's mother, right? They wanted to rail the shit out of her mum. And then you said, are you sure? And then you give them the docs picture, and then they do whatever they want with it. Why would you do that? Why would you genuinely do that? Why do you think this is an acceptable excuse? Insanely moronic. What are you talking about? So, what are these ones? Because again, these are just the ones that Himpy have forwarded towards me. I don't even know how relevant some of these are. Okay, I see the context now. Okay. Let me open a few of these up. My voice is going already. I haven't even started that long. Okay. Let's get through these up and we'll just skim through it, just see what's relevant. Wanna be. So I believe this is Goat's server? Wait, is it true that Aiden likes Goat? I'm not caught up on this and I thought that they're making shit up. Goat says, yeah, he liked me, but I wasn't ready or wanting a relationship. He didn't ask for one, he just confessed because he wanted to be honest. I thought he was chill till he did what he did recently. What are these people doing? What are you doing to these people? I don't know, we weren't talking for long. I have a special type of riz called being friendly and normal. 5 men have fallen this year. I've OD'd in one of them. The motherfucker from the Cine Bear support group had a crush on me and it was so awkward. Evan was a weirdo. That's who they're referring to. Goat says, oh my god, there's a tornado in my town, but at least if I die, yeah, okay, they're talking about Evan. I don't care. Then I found out a friend had a crush on me for the entire year, started from we barely know each other, and he knew I didn't want to date, and I definitely didn't want him. Okay. Then there was one who tried to convince me to date him or be sexual with him right after I broke up with Ace. Crazy, crazy. Okay. Okay. I haven't flirted with anyone since I left Ace. Anyway, Lamau, the most I did was make grooming jokes and basement jokes about Aiden, because we thought it was funny, Lamau. Aiden was also normal about it and was able to just remain friends with me when I said I wasn't wanting a relationship, which was cool. Okay. It's weird to think Ace was my first relationship in years, Lamau. Since 2023, I don't count frick. Yeah, buddy? Crazy. I'm just skimming through these because I don't think they're very relevant. Okay, yeah, I don't care. I don't care. Keep it going. Okay, I think I understand the relevance of these. These are meant to really show the fact that Goat was saying publicly that, like, she had no interest in Aiden at all. Meanwhile, you're all good, man, and plus you're still chill. Just a bit too soon, plus I'm trying to figure some personal stuff out before I commit to something again anyways, lol. And TBC, it's not awkward with, don't worry, my D key. What is this language? And then we have this. Shake my head. Also, I'm starting to develop an attraction to Aiden. We've been talking more, like, on and off and on. He showed me his dog Fluffy, Lamau. He's so cursed. But we had like a 4-hour convo just yapping about shit and he was chill as fuck. And I didn't realize how fast the time flew by. But I'm gonna take it slow first, lol. He's like the most normal dude who's been into me. That I've met, and I already found him interesting before, so this is different, lol. So Goat Cato did have feelings towards Aiden Underground. And when Aiden was getting dogged on publicly, Goat Cato did absolutely nothing, and just let them get bullied into the ground. This is fucked up. This is genuinely fucked up. Again, I think there is fair to critique to be given to Aiden. I will always say this, but I genuinely do think that certain aspects in the way that that Goat treated Aiden was entirely uncalled for. Genuinely. I think if you do not have feelings for someone, or you don't want to, like, you know, do stuff, you need to be extremely clear. You need to be extremely clear about it, okay? You don't want to leave it open at all. You may just be saying, oh, I'm being nice. I'm being nice about it, right? I'm letting them off slow. No. Because some guys will take that and they would be like, there's still a chance? Because that's what you feel like, right? Because if you have feelings for someone, right? You're going to have those feelings even after they reject you. Unless they are very fucking clear-cut about it. It does not help. It does not help. You just need to be clear-cut about it, okay? But yeah, let me grab the next thing. Fuck, wrong thing. No, okay, whatever, we're on this now, I guess. Go here. You fuck. And I believe this is Icy. I think. And my band just came off. God damn it. The mutual attraction thing was when me and him were talking about a situation and I complimented him by saying that I appreciated him being normal about liking me, and that I did find his humor and intelligence, and his intelligence attractive. But we both understood that I wasn't wanting to pursue a relationship. I don't know why this is being dragged out so bad, lol, and that was in VC, so... Okay. Okay. What's Ivy messaging me for? Shut up, Ivy. No, there's not. There's not a chance. Go to the next one. So we have Hellbent here. It happens. Not even a reflection on him being inadequate in any way. Goat says, Europe. Hellbent says, how long were you talking for again? Let me check. We started actually talking on and off about, plus chatting in public VCs, starting off at like the 10th of the, the 22nd of the 11th month, 2025. So yes, a month of talking isn't really long for me to know enough about him to have feelings back for him, lol. Wait, what? 11:22. Where is it? Fuck. Does not have a date. Fuck. Killing myself. Da, 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 da. I don't dislike him, nor was I trying to lie on his name, lol. I say none of this to embarrass or humiliate him, just to clear some things up. Yeah? It just sounds like you're trying to bin him off entirely. In the sense of letting him take the flak from Fall for everything. You let him take the entire fall in the pit for the liar wife docs information. You never once addressed it properly. Why am I getting friend requested? Who's doing that? Oh, okay. A gay boy. Yeah. You could have gone on. You could have explained the sign with the Dickus on Dickus' stream, but you never did that either. You entirely let him take the fall at every chance given. What's this part? I believe this is reference to Astro John. Okay. Okay. Let's see. John was supposed to have been told many, many times, but who knows? He was. I told him one-on-one I did not view him anything other than a friend, but a friend when people were shipping us, lol. Okay. This stuff is more fun than a K-pop drama. Lol? Evil. Do. What's this? We started actually talking outside the live stuff on... Yeah, that's what made him say he liked me, but I was aware that he liked me on the 11th of the 25th, 26th. Wait, what? But that... What? On the 12th of the 18th, that's when he said he liked me. Okay. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Sorry, I happen to have a lot to say about these. Some of these screenshots I don't really have much to really comment on. Because I don't really care too deeply on the interpersonal drama. I think it's a bit gay. In terms of, like, the whole talking about, like, the, the whole, like, Aiden relationship drama thing. That's, like, it's a thing you can, like, point at and be like, ah, that's a bit silly. But apart from that, there's not too much to really say about it. I complimented him for being mature compared to other men who were into me because we were literally talking about a dude in my private being fucking weird about me. So it wasn't out of nowhere, there was context to that discussion. Okay? Hold on. Have I accidentally gone down like an idiot? Hold on. Hold on. And he took that as mutual attraction. Yeah, I also complimented him by saying his humor and intelligence were attractive, as I said earlier. But after talking to people fast past that point, I figured out I just liked talking to him in general amount. Okay. Dude, that's such a fucking funny screenshot. I can't wait for this. But yeah, these are just the ones that got shown. I can't really... there's not really too much to say about these, personally, I don't think. Yeah, I don't think it's funny with the John stuff, just mean. Yeah, with the John stuff, from my understanding, you gotta remember the context of that guy was dealing with a lot of, like, mental health issues at the same time. And these guys were basically mocking the fact this guy was dealing with, like, self-harm and stuff like that, which is entirely messed up, right? No matter what you think of a guy, I think that's entirely messed up. Like, this guy had done nothing. The worst he had done was have an attraction towards Go. That is literally his worst crime. And that led to, what, mocking the fact he was dealing with, like, mental health issues? What are you talking about? That is deranged. That is insane behavior. What are you talking about? But yeah. So I believe the next part. Now, again, I feel like I'm going really fast with these. But, again, I feel like it's probably going to be a lot more of a shorter stream. To be honest. In the grand scheme of things. Unless there's something else that someone's going to send in to me. Yeah. It's probably going to be a lot more of a shorter stream, but I feel like it was important to talk about all of this. And, like, basically give my side about what I think about everything, given the fact I used to be friends with both these people. So we get really all of the misconceptions out of the way, basically, when it comes to both Ant and Go. But yeah, let's continue. So, I believe the next thing is this for the iNut stuff? I believe so. Yeah, I believe this is for all the iNut stuff. Yeah. Okay. I think this is a good time for me to bring up a specific point. Now, let me just remove all of these so I can get to it. Now, there's not a lot of Given Ant stuff to really talk about, right? But I feel like there's a few different things to talk about with Ant. Back when the stuff was happening with, like, Cupidite and the stage and stuff like that when it comes to Hidden Server, when me, Ant, and A-Space had the Abstract podcast, and we were all three of us were on it, before Ant dipped, and he went to go chase the bicycle down the road, right? Ant, for some reason, suggested that we talk about the Cupidite stuff, the Gokado stuff, on the Abstract podcast. Ace and me were like, no, what are you talking about? Absolutely not. What are you talking about? Ant then goes on into Ace's DMs and starts suggesting, why do you want to talk about it? We could just have a talk about it. What's your thoughts on this? What's your thoughts on that? What's this? What's that? And that obviously pissed Ace off, right? Don't want to talk about it. It's a very soft topic at the moment, right? This is someone he had just broken up with. Entirely messed up to, like, continue to bring up. And Ant saying stuff along the lines of, that's just how it goes in these communities. I'm just jabbing at you, buddy. Ha ha ha. Entirely not what he was doing in the slightest, by the way. Not in the slightest. Now, it was mentioned and basically alluded to, and I've got permission to talk about all this stuff, by the way, that on Himpleton's livestream, it's basically brought up that Ant and Ace had a call that was moderated by Himpleton. Now, this call is important to bring up, because the reason why it's important is the context for why that call was happening. It was just so Ace and Ant can have an understanding of, like, where he sat with Ace. Like, why are they not talking as frequently? What did I do to, like, annoy you and stuff like that? Things like that, right? That was the intention for the call. Now, why it's important is, I don't think this is the actual clip. No, this isn't the clip I'm going to show for that part, but this is still a funny clip. Now, this is a clip from Given Ant's stream where he debated someone called Kasari. This was meant to be a double topic stream, where he was going to be talking about the stuff with Go and Lio Convoy, right? And I just want you guys to get a real good picture of what Given Ant is actually like. So I'm going to play this clip. Make sure my OBS and stuff is working. Awesome. And I'm going to play this. Let me full screen it. So you guys get to see it in all its glory. So this is from the start of the stream.
But before we talk about that, I guess I could talk a little about this Lio stuff before, since kind of give you guys a preamble about my opinions on that. What is with, okay, I want to ask you guys a question about this. What is with the Lio sweeping virus, like, spreading throughout the community? What is happening? Like, this, like, and like, the situation I'm talking about, like, particularly is Gokado in the chat got literally slandered by a bunch of people in Lio's server, and Lio's actually directly involved, and everyone's trying to act like he's not, and it blows my mind. It's, like, mind-boggling that is even the case. We're trying to, like, remove Lio from the situation, and I'm not even kidding you, all right? I've had friendships almost, like, be on the brink of collapse because I've been critical of this situation. I'm not even kidding. It's so stupid. This whole situation's dumb. Luckily, this person and me, we're going to actually have a
Again, the context for this, right, is he would continuously pressure people like Ace to talk about this situation publicly, right? Another thing that's important to note with this is the fact that not Ant, right, but Go was going around saying, if you have questions about like the Cupidite stuff and stuff like that, speak to Ace. He has the same opinions as me. Now, we know why that's important, is because Ace did not have the same opinions about the situation as Goat Kato did. Why the fuck are you trying to throw Ace under the bus by saying such an insane thing and deciding to basically go, yeah, I don't want to talk about this. You guys go speak to Ace Space about this. Don't come to me about all this stuff, about this situation that I'm directly involved with, that I've been talking to these minors. I have all these minors in my DMs, right? I'm the one talking to them directly. Go ahead and speak to Ace Space, my ex, the person who I have recently broken up with. What are you talking about? Why would he want to do that? Why would he want to talk about it publicly? Because there's also an important part in this, right? And it was mentioned on Himpleton's live stream. So I'm going to bring it up here. If Ace spoke about any of the stuff, right? And if he was against Goat, he would come off as the scorned ex. If he spoke for Goat, he would be seen as absolutely touched. And seen as basically like, what am I looking to say here? You know, had lingering feelings or something. It could get entirely misconstrued. He would be touched if he did, touched if he didn't, right? That's how it would come across, right? So I don't know why, on that aspect as well, why Goat Kato was saying, Ace Space, go talk to Ace Space about this. Insane. Now, the important context is, as we saw with those DMs, is Given Ant was also involved with this topic, was basically dealing with this topic behind the scenes with Goat Kato. And why wouldn't they just say, go talk to Given Ant? Go talk to Given Ant. He's also talking about this topic with me. No, they instead decide to shift the blame and decide to go talk to Ace. Which is insane. And also, keep in mind that that Given Ant was basically trying to get more people to talk about this. Was trying to get us, me and Ace basically, to talk about it on the Abstract podcast. Was trying to go ahead and like fish for answers from Ace in relation to this topic. And this is also what Ant accidentally let slip on this very live stream, and I'll be showing that after this clip.
Conversation relatively soon, which I'm, thank God, I just want to have a conversation with them, work it out. But I'm not even kidding. I've had people who literally stopped, didn't want to talk to me anymore because of this situation. And it's just crazy. This is why I want to talk about it, okay? I have some issues.
Given Ant's unfriended me, by the way. I don't know why. Call in? Yeah, sure. Get in the summoning circle, you faggot.
With like Beckett particularly, and some of the stuff Beckett has said, and I don't want to criticize Beckett, and like some of the active sweeping is insanity. It's insanity. It actually blows my mind a little bit. But yeah.
Also in reference to Beckett, by the way, Beckett never once made a public point against this. I think the most he said at this point in time is this entire thing is moronic. I'm not going to get involved. I believe that's the most he said. Let me check my thing again. Okay. Hi, Sam. How you doing, buddy?
Hello, buddy. I just thought I'd come here and say that I've just come off a dicastro with Beckett.
Yeah.
And Spondar, talking about Given Ant.
Spondar.
Yeah, well, we went into the Paradise stuff.
Oh, did you?
We did. We went into the Paradise stuff. We went into some old Ant tweets. The whole Ant showering tweet.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yep. And we leaked a lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah. You got anything to share with the class?
Well, look. First thing I leaked was about Ant having a mental breakdown and spiral about my messages in Dicker's chat, talking about fucking Go-Cat being let off her leash by Ant,
Yes.
and that's sending him into a spiral. We spoke all about fucking Ant lying behind the scenes about this truck. Basically anything you can think of, we spoke about.
Awesome.
To do with giving out. Yeah, for quite a while, including Paradise stuff. I mean, is he going to respond? 200
No.
people watching that stream talking about giving out in Paradise? Probably not.
No.
He's an ungodly pussy. I mean, he's going to do the same thing he did in the whole fucking what was it? Dog stuff, right? Dog and Kasari crap.
Yeah.
He's taken a break already. He's left this like Go-Cat's private server, which he that's what he did in the other situation. He left servers. He then went silent for ages and then tried to respond in months later.
Yeah.
Is he going to try and respond months later to this? I don't know. I mean, everyone's kind of coming at him now.
I really think he should. I think I would like to think that he would at least learn in the fact that he'd realize that he should just talk about it. Like, when, with the stuff with the Kasari stuff, I feel like that should have been like a learning lesson. Like, as much as like shitfling I'm giving to Ant, I really think that he should talk about this. I think it is important. I mean, but yeah.
I mean, he's got nothing to lose, right? I mean,
no, exactly.
What is it? Again, everyone knows that his girlfriend dumped him. Everyone knows about all of this other crap about him, right? Everyone's dogging on him. I mean, at this point, I would be confused if he didn't come out and talk about it. I mean, as like me, Dickers, and Beckett were talking about, I don't know why he's like even still trying to like have an internet presence, right? If he's not making content or anything.
Yeah.
It just seems like he's coming on to like get absolutely like bashed in the skull by people. He's taking another break. Why don't you just quit at that point, right? Like unless he's got some like fucking like some Dickers stream, unless he's got some type of kink where he likes being absolutely like brutally molested by everyone online. There's no reason for him to keep coming online. I don't get it. I honestly don't get it. If he's not going to make content and he's just getting like molested by people, and you've got no connections really anymore, you've left Go-Cat's private server, then what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. Do you want to try, because I don't have like a full like understanding. Do you mind explaining to the lovely people on this channel the Paradise stuff?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, we just come with the Dickers stream talking about it. Paradise was 16. And he sent his dick pic to a 13-year-old. Now, apparently this 13-year-old had sent nudes to him, but and hard defended for a while. And then apparently he got some added context. Again, this is all in Dickers stream with all the tweets and stuff. Then he said he got some added context to the situation that changed his perspective, whatever. But Spondar also revealed on stream that the Paradise stuff didn't just stop there. That Paradise, when he was 17, ended up like flirting with someone and chatting to someone who was 14, who had been like serially groomed in the commentary community.
Jesus.
Apparently, Anne didn't know about this one.
Okay.
But that's like a further thing on the Paradise stuff. And there are tweets. I think Nicholas Duria retweeted and like posted about like ages ago when it was going down. When like a guy called Flupster, he used to be around in commentary like Albert, responded to Paradise saying, well, didn't you send your dick to a 12-year-old? And he went, actually, no, I'm not a paedophile. I sent it to a 13-year-old.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's the Paradise stuff. But yeah, Ant was defending him originally with the Paradise stuff. And then apparently he got some like ungodly context that changed his perspective.
Yeah.
And he apologized for it. I mean, he didn't say what that context was. Spondo had no idea what that apparent context was because, in his words, all the situation, or that bit of the situation, it was kind of straightforward and all out there.
Do you think it could be our conversation that we had when we were basically playing Marvel Rivals and it was a joke debate that turned into a real one?
Well, look, the tweet I'm talking about was ages ago, like years ago.
Yeah.
That'd be funny. That would be funny. But, I mean, that the conversation we had... I mean, did it change his perspective? Like, I don't know if it would have changed his perspective, right? Because, like, it's weird because when you look at the tweet of him saying about, like, oh, I've got this extra added context.
Yeah.
And then the conversation that we had with him about it, the brief conversation, right? I mean, I don't know if it particularly matches up. It kind of, when reading that tweet, it kind of feels like he's tweeted that to save face, right? Like he's responded awfully to the situation. Then he's tweeted out that, oh, look, there's an extra context here that I didn't know. And that's why, like, you know, like, now I'm not going to defend this guy. It's like, well, what's the extra added context? He doesn't actually say. And then if we're to believe Spondar, right, that this situation was pretty straightforward, it does seem pretty straightforward, right? It doesn't seem like there would have been loads of stuff to come out about it later. Then I just can't imagine what that extra added context is outside trying to save face in a situation where you fucked up defending someone.
Was Ant friends with Paradise at one point?
Yes,
It could. So it could be. Do you think it could be like his biases, like
it could be
entirely
a
like
personal bias.
personal bias? Reminds me of a situation involving Go Kalo.
I know, I know. Um, a pattern on my side. Um, I mean, ultimately, Anna is a liar, a manipulator, right? I mean, he
Yeah.
actively stated that he didn't pay money for a diss track. That's,
Yes, I haven't
I
talked about
think,
that point yet, but I was going to. I'm
yeah,
currently on the point where I'm bringing up the reason why he's an absolute lying little snake and the context behind why he had his call with Ace.
yeah. I mean, look, there are so many reasons, right, for why he's a liar. I mean, a personal favorite of mine, is when he claimed, well, he left all the GCs we were in,
Yeah.
said that I was like some chaos or whatever. Was like having a mental spiral over my chat messages about Go Kato and stuff on being on a leash or like with him. Was thinking that I was galloping him, that I'm gonna like send and like leak all this stuff. Was like getting like paranoid that I was gonna make a video on him and like for months, like even back to the Kasari stuff, thinking that I was hiding something from him. But then in a fucking the call between A Simpleton and Given Ant, I mean, he references me as a friend, and that I'm
Yeah.
like trying to like discredit his name or whatever. I mean, but it's just simply not the case, right?
Yeah, he's entirely flippant on like who he decides that he likes and who he doesn't. Because for example, he was just like, "Oh, thanks, like Aiden for defending me." I'm pretty sure with the whole thing of the Kasari debate, because the only reason that Ant even won that debate is because he got like entirely like flanked on both sides by Himpleton and Aiden, like during that debate. And he's just like, "Yeah, I touched Kasari." It's like, "No, fucker, you didn't do shit."
Well, look, it all comes down to what benefits him in the moment or what can make him look like a victim,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
If he can victimize himself in that situation, he's going to take that route. If he can make it look like he's like done something in that situation, he's going to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's ultimately what he's going to do, right? He's incredibly good at victimizing himself. Again, this is Ant, right? This is the type of guy he is. He's incredibly flippant. He doesn't have any backbone. He will lie. He will like reveal personal information to make you feel bad about him. That's who he is, right?
Yeah.
He uses his like online social medias as a personal fucking diary. Ultimately, is the guy. That's who Ant is. The type of person you're dealing with. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm being told to play a very important soundbite.
I would have gotten away it too if it wasn't for that CSAM.
Whoa! Whoa! And he just admitted that? That's crazy. That's not taken out of context at all. And sweeping for CSAM. That's crazy. Thanks for that, Fishy. I mean, hell, fuck it. We've already, like, slightly derailed off of it a little bit. I might as well bring it up. So, the diss track. So, I don't know if you guys... I don't think I've properly explained the Kasari drama. Because I know a lot of you guys probably don't understand what the fuck I'm even talking about. So, Given Ant got into a bit of a drama with this guy called Kasari. I believe the understanding is that Ant basically made a tweet about this guy breaking up with his boyfriend or something like that. It was basically like making fun of that regard on Twitter.
Yeah.
And then
I'll be upfront about. I mean, because he kind of like weaponized me and threw me under the bus to save his own back. I made the joking call, and then he decided to tweet that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, that's what happened there. I mean, he made that tweet, but it all started because Kasari, I think he had like been banned off Twitter, right? And then Ant tried to do a victory lap on him over it. And I think he posted like, that meme of Superman where he's like laying on his back.
Yeah.
He posted that, and tried to work around from that.
Yeah, and basically,
and then it kind of spiraled.
Yeah, and it spiraled from this, right? Because Given Ant, during getting like into some shit drama with this guy, very sadly, his dog Rusty passed away, and he made this known publicly on Twitter, which is a really fucking dumb thing to do when you have the people that you do have about like that you're getting into shit drama with, and they will use that and they will mock it because you've made it public, which is exactly what Kasari did, and it's exactly what a lot of these people did when it came to Ant because of the thing that he like posted about Kasari or mocked Kasari about, right? This went on for months and months on end. Ant refused to get into a call with Kasari, refused to have like a debate with him until he finally did, which is what this stream is. This stream was, as I said, It was meant to be the Kasari debate, and then it was going to meant to be followed by the Given Ant blows Lio Convoy's back out stream. I think that was what his plan was, but it did not go very well. Because I'm gonna get into it. But that's the Kasari stuff. The second thing I will mention about Given Ant that is very fucking funny, that is related to the Kasari drama. He was thinking about for quite a while how he was gonna get the own on Kasari, how he's gonna really like show him who's boss, right? So he had this idea, and he wanted to do a diss track on Kasari. Now, we had heard about this idea that he had, and we thought, okay, it's going to be like a little silly thing, right? It's not going to be anything like too insane or like blown out of like the park or anything like that. Just a silly like video, right? Not like taking too seriously. Fair enough, right? In reality, what Ant wanted to do is he wanted to get Mike the Bike to do it. Now, if you guys don't know who Mike the Bike is, he's done a few different like songs that people have done like from the commentary community. I believe like Kristen Ark had a song made and stuff like that at one point way back when. And the thing about it was it was gonna cost $200 to do this diss track for this stupid moronic shit drama. And it wasn't going to be out of giving Ant's own money. No. A fan or someone that Ant knew was going to pay for it up front instead. Now, we had a conversation with Ant that I incredibly regret because it would have been so fucking funny to see what would have happened. And basically said, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? What are you talking about? And he's just like, she's like, it's just like, dude, and it's not even out of your own money. It's out someone else's. How are you going to get him, like, tell Mike or, like, you know, get the money back or to this guy? And she was like, oh, I'll sort it out. And then he, like, ran away for a bit, gave the guy back his money, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, that is that is what I'm referring to. When it comes to the diss track stuff, I kind of wish I saw that come to fruition, genuinely.
Yeah, I mean, it took several conversations to get this guy to stand down. I mean, like, I regret trying to get him to stand down.
Yeah.
But he had like said to people, I'm not again like I said on Dickstream, I'm not going to reveal the person. But he had lied to people saying that this never happened, that he was never planning to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just simply not the case.
Not
there
true.
are DMs between him and Ace.
Me. Basically, it was me, Samuel, and Ace. We were all talking in a VC when he was bringing this up, and it took several conversations for him to basically back down. Because it was moronic. I remember it distinctly because me and Ace were playing Marvel Rivals. Ooh, voice crack, and then there goes my microphone. Playing Marvel Rivals during the whole thing. But yeah, I don't know why he was denying that. Probably because it sounds absolutely raped.
Yeah, no.
But yeah. But yeah, that's the only other little Given Ant stories I can really think of. Aside from this thing that I'll be going into. You plan on staying around or?
I'll probably go off. I've a bit burnt out from talking on Dickish stream so much about Ant.
It is like 2 a.m.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy the rest of dunking on Ant and Goat or whoever.
I will. What's your I was ask? What was your opinion on the whole thing with like? How do you feel? Because my opinion is that like Goat basically threw Aiden under the bus by not actually speaking out about stuff in terms of like who, like her giving Aiden the docs information.
Well, no, 100%. I mean, she acted publicly outraged, right, in terms of like trying to go at him and like letting it happen.
Yeah.
When in actuality, like, I mean, she was typing in chats, right, and like fucking like poking and prodding the situation. When in actuality, she was the one that sent it to him in the first place, and then she'd like try to offload shit to Frick, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, because it was Frick who like sent them the picture originally, sent Goat the picture, right?
Like that makes any fucking difference in the situation, right? Like, whatever, right? Critique Frick for doing that in the first place, but we're specifically focusing on the fact that Goat was prodding and poking the Aiden situation, actively going at him, right, in chats and talking about it or whatever, and talking about what he'd done. When in actuality, she was the one that had prompted that, right? And was involved in that, right? Again, you criticize Aiden for it, but you also criticize Goat because she's the one that fucking sent it to him. Yeah. It's the only reason that fucking Aiden had it in the first place.
Yeah, I genuinely, it's one of the few things like in terms of that situation where I feel bad for Aiden in the aspect of like the whole like the relationship drama. How Goat could have like entirely been was basically saying just like, oh, I had no feelings to Aiden, or portraying in such a way when she clearly did. I mean, we have the logs now to prove it. Like you're entirely just doing it to like basically be like, oh, it's all Aiden, it's all Aiden. Don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me. It's insane, insane. But yeah, just wanted to get your thoughts on that. But yeah, I'll let you get some rest, buddy.
Yeah, no worries, buddy. Right, I'll speak to you later.
No worries. Take care. Thanks for popping by.
That's it.
That was Samuel, everyone. Samuel. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Well, I think we've got a bit detract. Detract. Oh, I almost said distract there. Given Ant would have loved that. But no. We're going to get back into this, okay?
Yes. It's crazy, okay? Let's just say friendships have been on the brink of collapse. A man's life hangs in the balance tonight. It is funny because so many people call me like a Lyle convoy sweeper, and it's really funny because like I'm one of the few people who actually would stand up against Lyle in this situation because I think that like the situation's completely insane. I'm one of the few people who actually do it, okay?
I'm one of the only few people who actually stand up against Lyle. Now, I could give him the fact that it could be this situation, right? Well, the main criticism here is that as much as like you may disagree or agree when it comes to Hidden's stance, right? I don't care at the end of the day. Is the criticism should be levied towards Hidden, right? If the criticism was to be given. Now, I want to bring up an important fact. One of the main things that people were criticizing Hidden and Lio for by adjacency when it came to the whole dealing with like getting into contact with Goat to get their opinions before the Discord stage is they didn't get into contact with Goat. Or they didn't get into contact with Go in terms of, like, you know, talking about it, right? They entirely, like, did the stage in the ambush, right? They did all this stuff. Given Ant, keep in mind, was planning on doing this big stream talking about Hidden or talking about Beckett and going after these people. Never once reached out to them, mind you. So just major hypocrisy on Given Ant's part in this entire situation. And even then, it is not an equal point of hypocrisy here. Because if we look at the timeline, in terms of the stage, I don't know if I have the gilded DMs on me, but they had been floating around. But I will just speak on them. If I get someone DMs them to me quickly, I can bring them up on the stream. But I'll talk about it here. The reason why, so the explanation, right? Timeline. Goat had said that she did not want to be involved in ACC communities. She said that to Lio before anything to do with the Cupidite stuff happened, right? Which led to Lio not talking to her and stuff. Or him, sorry, I keep on doing that. I've probably done that a lot in this stream. I do apologize for the misgender. I put it in the jar. But yeah. Now, again, like I said previously, you could criticize Lio for not then reaching out because of the importancies of the situation. But before they had a chance to talk about it, Gilded had basically said to Go and sent them the notes of the timestamps of the document when it was going over the Cupidite stream or Goat's coverage of the Cupidite stream. And Gilded didn't specifically say who it was. And they were just like, oh, this is Frick's name all over it, said Go and stuff like that. So before anyone who was actually involved had a chance to even speak to Goat, Goat was basically seeing that, and they basically left a bunch of different spaces. Now, from the people's perspective, or the people covering, or like wanting to speak to Goat, again, like I said, I took a step out from everything. I wasn't involved in the processes for anything involved, right? Like I said. They did not get a chance to speak to Goat because from their perspective, it looked like Goat Kado was running away from the situation and then did not want to talk about it. Or had somehow been tipped off or something like that and they had just ran, basically. That was the perception there. So again, it is very much different. Ant never once reached out to any of the people that he was going to be critical of to get their side of the situation. But yeah. So, that was that clip. If it lets me out of it. Now I'm going to be showing this part. Now this is the VOD clip, or the edited video of the Kasari debate that Ant uploaded on his second channel about a month ago. Now this is important. Now I need to play it from, I believe, this part, when he leaves the call. Okay? Now, I want you to try and remember the context I gave in the fact that Ace had a call with Given Ant, and the context of said call was they were going to talk about, like, why have you not been talking to me more, like, and stuff like that. That was the only thing that that call was meant to discuss. And here we go.
All right. Ah, the conversation is finally done, dude. Okay. Dude, I was gonna talk about Lyle, but I'm going to bed. Okay. I'm really tired. It's like 11 o'clock. I got family
Running?
over for like some stuff.
Running?
So I can't stay up too late. So I'm gonna have to go to bed. But the Lyle Convoy stream is coming. Okay, we are gonna talk about it. I am actually gonna have a conversation with somebody on like Thursday, so maybe I can get more information, which is why also I'm like kind of delaying it. So
Now that part's important.
I'm actually gonna have a conversation
I'm actually going to have a conversation
with somebody on like Thursday.
with somebody on like Thursday. Now, I noticed this when we were watching this debate go down. I was in call with Ace, and I said, aren't you meant to be having a conversation with Ant on Thursday? And he's just like, wait, yeah, but how is that relevant?
So maybe I can get more information, which is why also I'm like
So maybe I can get more information,
kind of delaying it. So
which is why I'm delaying the stream. So, Given Ann was planning to use this conversation as a ruse to get more information about Lio Convoy from A-Space, someone that he was going under the guise of trying to rekindle the friendship between him and them. That is entirely scummy, entirely snaky, and entirely misportraying the intentions that Ant had by having that call with Ace. This is why this guy is an absolute lying little snake who will weasel his way into a situation and make him look like a victim whenever he can see an opportunity to do so. He entirely lied about like why he wanted to talk about Ace. Again, I could maybe give him the benefit of he also did want to talk to Ace about the friendship. I could give him maybe that, but also you are still lying by doing this, and he basically self-reported in a live stream. Now, I want to point out, this was a month ago, mind you. Never once yet have we seen that infamous Lio Convoy stream. He has never once gave it to the man, if you will, right? Put him in his place. He's entirely been just running around in the background, mocking people's suicidal ideation, and being an utter wretched snake. That is Given Ant, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I really wish I had that clip. There is a clip of Himpleton going, I'm gonna say it, Chris the Narc was right about you, when referring to Ant. Obviously is a joke, right? But damn, did it age so well. I would like to point out, there are 55 of you currently watching the stream. What are you doing? Like, subscribe, okay? You know, it helps me a lot. If you would like to, leave a donation. It makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, okay? But you don't need to. Haha. Gulp. But yeah. We're going to continue. So, let's go on to the next point. Now, for the context for the next few DMs, these were sent into iNut stream. So iNut was given these, unprompted mind you, by Goat Cato. This was after Himpleton's live stream, talking about everything. So I'm gonna grab these, I'm gonna throw them up. Let me get all of these up on the screen. So yeah, shout out to iNut for giving me all of these, I do appreciate that. Then we'll do that later. Now what's these DMs again? Okay. Let's get these pulled up. So these are all DMs with Cupidite. Basically Cupidite saying, "Oh yeah, okay, I will try. Also have this. I also have this information. I can just report him to his department because he was recently arrested anyways." Goat says, "All good. Do it with yours and his. Yeah, this dude is in active danger. Okay." And then we have a GC here, February 13th, 2025. Goat adds, get added to the group. Oop, forgot it. Auto calls, my bad. Ace says, yikes. Cupidite says, oh, 1 sec. Goat says, alright, no worries. My aunt gonna beat my ass. If it's too loud, let me fix my volume real quick. Okay. Let's see. I would try. I've also, okay. Okay, I don't care. Sorry for freaking out, this was my biggest fear ever. Anyways, read or don't read. If you do skim, please give advice. I need much needed before this document is posted. Ghost says, let me take a look. Sorry for not responding the other day. Cupidite says, don't worry at all. Genuinely, you have your own business to worry about. Ghost says, may take me a bit to make notes on it, but I will get back to you when I do. Cupidite says, take your time, genuinely lol, I'm in no rush. Okay. And then Ghost says, were they nudes? Cupidite says, yeah, I said that. Sorry for not clarifying well in school. Goat says, yeah, that's an issue, Daisy. Listen, even though you thought y'all were around the same age range, it is not legal to send, receive, or forward nudes of anyone under the age of 18. Minor or not, it's illegal and you could face charges. You said initially that someone was dangling sensitive info over your head. I would like to see evidence of that, / evidence of how you said you were forced into forwarding the nudes of a minor to another minor. This is dangerous, dude. Do you know what I would do in this situation when I learn that this person is doing this? I would no longer engage with them and report them to the police. If there is evidence of them doing it, I don't go ahead and say, this is dangerous, dude. No, you are committing a crime. You need to report this. This feels like a very softened or like downplaying. Not downplaying. How do I even explain this in words? They are being extremely kind, I would say, where you shouldn't be. It's not an oopsie poopsie moment, right? You are talking about someone sending what? Forwarding revenge porn, basically? Of a not just regular revenge porn. Nudes of a minor to another minor? That is insane. Okay. Goat says, I think you're misinformed. And they bring up what is sexting. It's a federal law. Romeo and Juliet is for physical interactions. If you know this, report them to the police. We aren't in Washington. I mean, given there's this right, but... And then it's... Watch woman has finally recognized the absurdity in the state. Child pornography laws fail to distinguish routine teenage sexting and an adult who downloads images of a 6-year-old, and they took steps this year to change them. In April, the Responsible Teen Communications Act was signed into law. The language of the bill note that because the exchange of intimate images by minors is increasingly common and blank, such actions may lead to harm and long-term consequences. The intent is to develop age-appropriate prevention and interventions to prevent harm and to hold accountable youth who harm others through exchange of intimate images. The Act amends existing child pornography laws in a number of positive ways. A minor, anyone under the age of 18, cannot be charged with possessing, viewing, or bringing or sending into the state child pornography unless the minor depicted engaged in sexual explicit conduct is aged 12 years old or younger. If a minor... Okay, and then it's cut off. Fuck you. Okay. If a minor distributes, publishes, and transmits, disseminates, or exchanges a depiction of another minor who is 13 ages or older, it is now a misdemeanor rather than a felony. So it's still a crime, by the way. Note that it is still a felony if the felony is the depiction of another minor who is 12 years old or younger. The felony of a minor is financing or selling depictions of another minor. However, if is selling sexually explicit images of himself or herself, it is a misdemeanor. Okay? True, though my point still stands regarding the federal stuff. Also, this is going to sound odd, but he means no harm at all and is only trying to get this shit sorted out. But would you be okay with a GC with you and me and Lio to talk about these things? Again, referring back to the Ace DMs. Wait, 10th of the 16th. Hold on. This is the same day. Chat, this is the same day as Ace's conversation with Go. What the fuck? Look, 10th for the 16th, 9 a.m. 10th for the 16th, 7:55. Fucking hell, man. Crazy. Crazy. Hi, Astro John. I hope you're doing well, buddy. We've talked about you briefly here. I do hope you're doing well. I genuinely do agree that a lot of the way that you were treated was entirely messed up. Like, no matter anything in terms of, like, whether or not you had a crush on them or anything like that, I think it's entirely disgusting. But yeah, I do hope you're doing well. But yeah. Sorry. Okay, was that a DM from Lio? Romeo and Juliet are state laws. Child pornography laws for which minor sexting fall under are federal laws. Okay. Jupiter says, I don't know about that. Doesn't he hate me? I'm afraid. And then Goat says, no, he doesn't hate you. Okay. Okay. Sorry for going to you for this, but you're the only person. What does this mean? AFAIK? Oh my god. Okay. That has immediate contact with 2Daisy, and honestly, I'm done publicly speaking on any of this. From Alexei? I already responded to them hours ago, don't worry, I didn't accept earlier because I was having exams. Go says, oh, okay. Cupidite then says on October the 15th, hi Trish, sorry to DM, I'm annoyed. I'm sure you saw my community post about Yumi and whatnot, but it's extending beyond petty drama and edgy allegations. You don't have to read this, but it would help me a lot. I'm getting allegations of grooming someone, and these allegations may or may not be racially motivated. Effect means as far as I know. What does John says? I do think I should have left. None of what happened to me would have ever happened if I just left. Yeah, but that's not on you, John. Genuinely. It is genuinely the actions of scummy people for treating you in such a way. It's not just solely on you. Hell, I do think I am on the opinion that you should have gone, or people should have told you to leave and stuff like that, or like basically removed you. But again, you were also dealing with a lot of stuff at the time, man. And I feel like the people that were around you, who were meant to be your friends, should have seen that, and instead of mocking you for that, should have, taken the steps to remove you from the spaces that were affecting you. Instead of, it becoming a laughing stock, basically. I think that's entirely on them, not you, buddy. But yeah. Jesus. And then that's cut off, because fuck me, I guess. Go adds Lio Convoy to the group chat. I just added both accounts because I forgot which one is used more. Based. So, yeah. If you want to type out your side and send evidence of stuff when you're available to Cupidite, that'd be cool, so Lio can get the full picture and you can explain what's all going on, especially with the stuff regarding Safari, which I forget, how old is he again? Yeah, I can probably do that next period, like 10 to 15 minutes. Safari is 15, turning 16. Goat says, alrighty. And then Cupidite says, I'm 16, turning 17. Tex is allegedly 13, turning 14. But we genuinely don't know. Insane. I'm generally wondering if this might backfire or if this is going to be the best way. I don't really know what else to do. I think there might be some miscommunications on the accusers, or misconceptions, on the accuser's side, as well as Cupidite's. And they seem to obviously be misinformed about laws regarding sensitive images like that. I don't know, I'm just hesitant regarding that. Do you know why they're hesitant on it? Because you just explained it was a federal crime. And that's why you need to, and say it with me, chat, report it to the police if you have evidence of a crime, and you are the adult in the situation, you need to report it to the police and then do it from there. You don't do this, and you don't be a fucking moron. Do you know what this is coming off of the end of, basically? Basically doing the pred hunting shit that everyone was calling out Lio for doing. This is what it is. This is very much on the lines of that. Midge says, okay, can I just ask something that's been nagging me? Does anyone have the full document of Cupidite's police report? They showed a scuffed ass in their most recent video, but didn't include the report in their response document either. I believe it's on the community tab. I genuinely wouldn't know. I don't follow the situation enough to know that for sure, Midge. But yeah. I believe from my understanding the police took their devices, but I'm not sure. On the full details. Where is this? I don't know, I'm just hesitant regarding it. Even though it may be a good idea, I cannot mentally deal with something that may potentially get twisted and spiral out of control. Because knowing these kids, if you mention anything about contacting their parents, they're going to freak out. And I don't really want that to happen to either of us. You know, I think I might chat out. I'm a bit paranoid. We should also probably at least wait until Junie's document is out so we can have all the facts anyways. Though on the end, my end still, I'm going to take a step back, and this is making me very anxious, lol. I don't think I want to do that call. Lio says, give me a bit and I'll call, okay? Goat says, alright. Lio says, am I crazy or was there a group chat earlier? Goat says, I disbanded it for the reasons I said above. Last night I was a bit impulsive. I think I got too emotionally invested. Probably not a wise idea to have the call or get further involved, even if we can all agree that this is getting out of hand. Because speaking from experience with these people, they won't listen and it will get twisted in the most worst way possible, and I don't think I want or can handle getting involved with something like that. And I don't really want you to have this blow up in your face either, so I'm tabbing out. Evo, I'm still getting Daisy's side, if that makes sense, lol. Why? Sometimes I get to invest in the heat of the moment when I'm upset, and then later I look back and I'm like, okay, maybe that's not it. Lio says, gotcha. Sorry, this morning's been busy. So clearly Goat admits that they were emotionally invested in the situation. I think they were definitely impulsive with this. I think they were too emotionally attached. I think the most good faith perspective I can give in regards to this is that Goat saw themselves in this kid in a way, right? And they went and defended them for that reason. Because I think this is very much Goat trying to look for a way of like, not defending, but maybe protecting Cupidite. Because of these such serious accusations, and maybe doesn't want to have this kid's life like ruined before it's even started, if that makes sense. But there is a caveat to this, right? There is an absolute caveat to this, and this is why law enforcement exists. And reporting stuff as a police report is very important. Because we should not have to sit here as moral arbiters when it comes to children. If you have evidence that something is criminal, you need to send it to the police, because that is why the criminal justice system exists, to go ahead and be that moral arbiter via laws and stuff like that, and professionals. It's, again, you should still do it in the cases where an adult is being the predatory individual. You should definitely still do the exact same thing. But I feel like there is a lot more of a difference between like you calling out someone for the actions they did as a child compared to someone who is being predatory as an adult, in terms of like being able to publicly do so. I think I've probably explained that a bit poorly. It's just a thought I had like tonight, so my stance on that might change, but I think there is a bit of a difference in terms of speaking out about that type of topic, if that makes sense. But yeah. Let me check something. Okay. But yeah, we're gonna continue. Let's see. Sometimes I get too invested in the... Okay, and then Lyle says, gotcha, sorry the morning has been too busy. And then we have this. Oh yeah, then I already showed that. Lol. Let me delete some of these. And then let me go back and grab the rest of the screenshots. Then we scroll down. Do. Is this the... And then we have one last screenshot here. I think. Cupid Eye says, hi, I'm back. Yeah, of course. What would you like to know? Ghost says, you said they dangled your info over your head to get you to comply with sharing that stuff with them. Is there evidence of that or anything pertaining to that / any manipulation? And then we have these messages. What are these? So, okay. That's the end of it in terms of that conversation. Now, these are what iNet sent me for full context for why Goat was sending specific messages. So I'm gonna drag these up. So we're gonna we'll probably won't read out the full messages again, but just so we have an idea of why Goat even sent these into iNet. Because it's an important thing to note with this is iNet never asked for these conversations or these DMs. But yeah, let me look at these. I finally found my DMs with Daisy when I stopped talking to them. It was after they came to me about someone I used to know from 2019 Sashay drama, grooming them, and I told them to report it to the authorities. Good. That's what you're meant to do. Last time we talked, I was only able to find their damn account again because of an old GC. Goat then says, this dude had their address and had groomed people before Daisy was planning on coming to their house to rape and mutilate them. Fucking Christ. Okay. Yeah. Regarding the sharing of the 13-year-old's news, which is what I went to Lyle for advice on, they failed to show me proven evidence that they were manipulated, and this is the disagreement I had talked about a good bit ago with Vlad. I really can't run... IIRC. Okay. Interesting. And again, Goat was still posting the damn fucking document at that point in time. As a defense point. 3 days after the initial stream, okay, all of the info I was getting from Cupid Eye I was forwarding to Ant and Lio for discussions about it. Me and Ant came to the conclusion that Daisy was making a lot of excuses, but we wanted to see both Junie and Cupid's final documents to see the proof and the debunk. Daisy's original document was dog shit, and played on the my mental health shit a lot, but they deleted / vandalized it when their initial response document got leaked, so... When they came to me about the later accusations, the one with the 13-year-old, okay, yeah. Sorry for the spam, but yeah, that's what I'ma leave it at, lol. I'm going back to do my own thing now. I ain't engaging any further, but I figured this would help clear some things up. Oh, also this, but after I talked to Ace about it, I removed them and told Lyle why we should both back out. Lyle wanted to get their side, but also wanted to have a stern talk with them about what was going on. He brought up the idea of reporting them quietly to the police or their parents in a VC the day I came to him about it and asked for advice. You also agreed that it was a good idea for Lyle to have a stern talking to them, as we saw from Ace's DMs. So I don't know what kind of thing you might be trying to spin here, but you also agreed at this. Okay, I have a clip jumped. I do apologize. And to be clear here, I'm not trying to shift blame onto Lio, just trying to explain what happened, lol. And the reason why I was trying to see with Daisy's side, as I had mentioned to Lio, because Daisy kept claiming they were pressured or manipulated into sharing the news of someone, IDEK. They failed to provide proper evidence of it. Okay, last message I swear once again, sorry for spamming, but this is all I must say, and like I said earlier, I'm not engaging further, I must sleep. Okay. And then we have this. And then we have this. Auntie Yen not explaining Gen Z slang. I'm not, okay? I'm sorry. It is shit's ass. Goat says, of course, and yeah, shit like this is it's also why I'm not engaging anymore, because Jesus fucking Christ. Cloudy says, groomed because becomes the groomer. Many such cases, frowny face. Now, this sounds fucking insane, right? This may sound like, oh, why did Cloudy do that? That's so awful. This looks like, from this perspective, right, that this is just a DM that Cloudy sent to Goat Cato. Have you guys seen the original screenshot? Would it be a little bit silly if I had the original screenshot? Now, where the fuck is the Italian? Where's the Italian? Let me fucking grab it. This is the original screenshot. Fucking hell. Sorry. First one to leave is a pedophile. Goat Cato leaves the group. And the context behind this is there was an old GC that had all these people in it. And I believe Fauci only just remembered it not too long ago. And I want to find something important, right? This was like a day ago from when the day before iNut stream. This conversation happened, right? Or this screenshot came from. Sorry, got a bit of a frog in my throat. Goat saying, this is the shit is also why I'm not engaging anymore. Girl. Bitch. Goat Cato. You had several months to respond to this. You had so much time to respond to this. Where people were on your side. People like from Aiden's community, people from Malcolm's community. They had support. They had people behind them to help them with this. And yet they still didn't talk about it. Do you know why? It's because in reality, they are touched. They are finished. It is over, Goat Cato Nation. And what they will do, what they will do instead of actually responding, all Goat will do is every once in a while, they will just make a stupid shitty community post where it's got nothing to do with anything. All they will do is they will boot up their community tab and just go, burp, fuck Adobe. What the fuck do you mean Adobe Animate's going on? Anyways, in light of recent things, here's a good video to check out in case you're worrying about the Cupidite shit or whatever. Why don't you talk about it, pussy? Why don't you talk about it on your own channel? Slaps my belly. Give me more commentary or animation meme YouTubers. I need them for my wheel. I need names. Okay, this was probably before stuff was exploding in their face. This is all that they have been doing this entire time. What the fuck is this? Oh, God. What the fuck is this? Hi guys, today my name's Grant. Today I'm talking about. They've entirely gone off the deep end, chat. Did Goat win? I don't know, Lio. Did Goat win? I think they lost. I think they fucking lost. Absolutely insane. Insane. Why am I getting DM'd? Give this to Yen, trust me on this. What's this? Why have I been sent this? I just wanted a server tag, bro. Don't groom. Don't get groomed. Fucking hell. Okay. Okay. Did someone say they had a palate cleanser for me? Feel free to send it in. But again, a bit of a conclusion, right, for everything we've just seen. Goat Cato entirely let Aiden Underground get fed to the dogs throughout the entire situation. Aiden has been rightfully called out for the things he's done, but in the same breath, Goat just let him, stranded him on the island while she sailed away on her water-powered motorcycle. Okay? That is what she's done in that context. Goat Cato was entirely responsible for the doc's information getting into Aiden Underground's hands. She has no excuse for why she gave it to him in the slightest, okay? No matter what happened, she's entirely lied and entirely misportrayed situations in relation to Lyle Convoy with Hidden. No matter how you feel about it, she's entirely gone ahead and misconstrued points in relation to that. She has gone ahead and intentionally defended people like Cupidite. Even if you remove the whole thing with the Discord stage and stuff like that, if you look at the stuff like them making posts on Twitter by using the defense document, that actually is just way worse than the things that they were defending or the information she had previously at the time when she was doing her streams. She, in that regard, she refuses to talk about the entire situation on her own platform. She is a coward. She is pussy. She is a pussy. She is pussy. She's serving cunt. She's serving cunt. And on the other hand, you have Given Ant, who is getting walked like a dog on a leash. He will make himself out to be the biggest victim possible. He will lie. He will just try and be an utter snake. He will refuse to reach out to people to get their side on a situation. And before you guys ask me, Given Ant unfriended me a while ago, okay? I wonder if he's blocked me on Twitter. Let's have a look. He has not. He has not. But yeah. This is fucked up. You're not in the server? Join the server, okay? Join the server. Doormat. Send it my DMs. Send it my DMs then, okay? Do it that way. But yeah. Is there any other stuff that anyone wants me to go over tonight? I know this has only been like a 2-hour stream. I have kind of like speedran this, but I feel like it was a topic that I do need to cover. Because I have seen a lot of questions are like, oh, isn't Goat Cato or Ace isn't Ace space and isn't Ace space and isn't Ace space and Yen still friends with this guy? No. No. Not in the slightest. Not in the fucking slightest. Did you get the audio? Shit! Yes, sorry, thank you, Lio. Sorry, I forgot. Lio's just reminded me. I was meant to cover that as well. I'm so sorry. The other thing, because basically, Goat was basically trying to spin it as like, Lio's doing this, Lio's doing that. We also have this audio, okay? I'm gonna let it play.
Super fucked up happening. I don't know. Because I've watched so many people who I thought were chill. They either have something horrific happen to them, or they end up doing something horrific themselves, and it's just like, oh, okay. So, how many sane people are left in the building? I need to know. This is.
Oops. Yes, Eli, I've got it. I've got the audio. Sorry. I accidentally clicked off it. Fuck. Oh.
Super fucked up.
Fumbles.
Oh, okay. So, how many sane people are left in the building? I need to know. This is getting kind of scary.
Da-da.
I tried taking a look at the Google Doc you sent, but there's very little to it.
Yeah. It's really not that much. I told Tasty I would get back with them with the notes, but there's nothing I can really... There's some contradictions in there, too.
Well, Well, I only saw one page. I didn't even know they added to it since.
Oh, there's more. It's formatted all weird. You have to like click on the tabs on the side.
Mm.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Me and Aunt went over it and we noticed that a lot of shit didn't really make up because they're like, I never treated this person special. And then they're telling the person about how like they literally wanted to like buy a house to live with them in and everything. And I'm like,
Dude.
listen, man, you're not a groomer, but like you're not, these screenshots aren't helping you. For the people who are brain dead enough to try and make that argument. And then they tried to say that they lied when they told Tex, the 13-year-old who lied about being 16 or something, which is also super confusing because Tex said that Cupid ID had known since January of this year and had made jokes about her age since and still did the nude thing. They screen shared their nudes. And then when they were confronting Tex about it, they were like, I only showed it to that person because they were like abusing me and manipulating me and they made me. And I was literally so uncomfortable. I didn't do it on my own. This wasn't something I would ever do on my own. It wasn't by my own volition. It was Safari's fault, blah, 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 blah. Talking about the other person, and how they were severely victimized by Safari, and yet they still continued to. Well, I can't be an asshole. I've done that before, right? So I'm not gonna be that guy. That would be hypocritical of me. I need to be. Yeah. Okay, it makes sense. But I don't know. It felt like a whole lot of, he did it. Even though, I don't know. There was a lot of backtracking too. Like I said, they confronted Tex about why they did it, and they're like, I used your nude as like a body reference for my character. That's how
What
much
the
you meant
fuck?
to me, or some shit like that. And then in the
Dude.
document, they show that screenshot. They're like, I lied, by the way. I was just putting the blame on myself so that Safari could get away with it.
What?
Like, what is going on here? It's so messy.
Say it with me now. Report it to the police. Report it to the police. Stop trying to be an internet vigilante and report it to the fucking police. Fucking hell.
It's a nightmare.
Sounds like it, goodness.
Yeah. Apparently that other document is supposed to be out within the next week, but I don't know. Junie's probably not gonna give it to me because I straight up told her, or him, I don't remember, to not post this and that. This was not something they should handle. But
To not post it? But I thought you were waiting on Junie's doc to talk about it. What are you talking about?
the victims want this to be known so there's no more victims.
Cool. Take it to the cops.
True! Very fucking true, Lyle. I'm gonna keep letting this play.
Exactly. Which, like, they say that an adult or something, which I'm assuming is Elixir's Web, because that's the only adult I know of in that group who gets involved with shit like that. They're probably the one who made the report, and I don't know if I trust them.
And they're what, 21?
Because they're 19. I don't trust them because they made a video on, like, two 16-year-olds and then only took it down because the 16-year-olds apologized to them. Like, I don't think I trust that person with serious situations.
And yet you took down your Cupid Eye streams? Okay, buddy.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Lord. Oh well.
And that's the voice clip. Again, this just proves Lyra was just trying to get them to call the police instead of whatever the fuck Goat was trying to imply. But yeah. Also, thank you very much, Chuli, for the raid. Holy fucking shit, I didn't even notice. Hi. Hi, guys. Gulp. Hi. Hi. I've been claimed by the Chuli Nation. You're now a proud colony. Hello. Hi. Hi, Chuli. Hi, Chulas. Hi, Chulas. Is that what I say? Chulers? Chew bunnies? Thank you very much, That Cool Cooley, for the £2 British. You are now a colony of the Chuli Nation raid. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Starbird, for the $9.99 US. The Chuli Nation has arrived. Welcome in. Welcome. Welcome to my empire. My citizens are called Xenas? Xenias? Xenas? Xenas? More like putas. Got him. Got him. Hi guys. You kind of like caught me near the end of everything. It's kind of evil, okay? We've been having a fun time. Xenias. Ha. Awesome. Ooh. But yeah, welcome in. I've been covering some. We've been talking about. Yeah, and don't forget though that Goat didn't do their own report on Cupidite despite not trusting the person who she thinks put the initial report in. Very true. I know. Very true. That's exactly what she should have done. We arrived at the most worst moment possible. I'm sobbing. True. Very true. People always do. Your literacy rates will flourish under my new governance. What the hell did Ember send me? Apparently Ember sent me a cleanser. Wait, what is this? Hold on, I'm watching this. What is Ace DMing me? Oh, thank you. Okay. What have you sent me? Hold on. This is important. Ah, fuck. Well, hold on, we gotta listen to what they have to say. Mm-hmm. Yeah? True. You can't say that word! What the fuck? Thank you. Thank you very much. That's very sweet of you. What's the second one you sent me? Hold on. I might as well look at both of them. What is this? It's a fucked up looking bunny. Dude.
Good bird.
This is a messed up looking cat. The bunny seems to be discussing the Epstein files. Dude. What the fuck? That's a really big bug. Yeah. Dude, I don't want to end stream, okay? I've only been streaming for 2 hours. Does anyone have anything to send me? Does anyone want me to cover something? I'm at your whims, chat, okay? I had a very small docket today, okay? But I don't want to end stream, okay? I've been gone, like, I don't know. I'm now situated in a place where I can now stream and stuff like that. I want to keep going, okay? But I don't know what else to talk about. What should I talk about? Oh god. Thank you very much, Venkman, for the $5 US. Peter Piper picked a pepper pickled peppers perpetually. Yeah, you thought you could get me, didn't you? You thought you could get me. You thought you could get me, fucker. So I only really know the basics of this debacle. So what was both Cupid and Goat's intentions with what happened? Why did Cupid share such a content? Why did Goat try to cover for them? I don't know the specific details of the Cupidite stuff, personally, because I didn't really want to get involved in it. I don't know about the specifics, but again, it's a case of, from what I've seen, it should definitely be a thing that was reported to the police, and if Goat was aware that someone did report it to the police, and Goat did not trust that person to make the report correctly, they should have, done it themselves, I pinged you in the chat about it. What? Okay, hold on. What's Lio sent me?
Piece of cake. Just remember, always cut the red wire. Oh, dark cat, you miserable psycho!
Thank you, Lyle. That's very cool. Very cool. Why is Starbird mess? Why is? Are we just like watching stuff that you guys sent me? I'm actually so down to do that. What do you mean?
まあこうしてエキシビションは
What
いろい
is
ろなパート
this?
の選手を見ることができます。あ、今度はチェコのペトル・バルナですが、これはチャップリンですね。
No, that's not necessary, Hex. Don't worry about it.
なかなか出てくる時から凝ってますね。エキシビションはこういうの見たいですね。
そうですね。男子
What is
シングル
this?
3位バルナ。
Dude! This is how I imagine Chuli is whenever they're about to, like, reveal something evil and fucked up on stream, by the way. This is how Chuli slides into a drama. Just like this.
これトリプル飛んじゃいますからね。
Dude. He's getting kind of silly with her. Hold on. He's kind of going crazy. Hold on. Oh, I know what I wanted to cover. Oh, okay, sorry. We're actually gonna pause this. What's his name? Fuck, what was his name? Shit. Oh, what was that streamer? Hold on. I know exactly what I wanted to cover. Don't go anywhere, chat. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, chat. I want to find something. I wanted to find something. Hold on. Let me close all the stuff with this docket, because it's actually just going to slow everything down on this stream. Hold on, chat. There is something that I wanted to actually look into. What was that? That was that stream. That was a YouTuber who was getting like her video taken down or falsely struck by that like one emo like artist or whatever. They did an expose on. I believe I talked about it Nuxtaku. I don't know what the stuff is for Nuxtaku, so, and that's Fauji's thing. But what was their name? Shit. I'm being sued. What was her name? What was her name? Damn it! Does anyone remember? I'm sure if I search... Oh, Social Repose! Thank you! Social Repose. Thank you. Social Repose exposed. Okay. So, I'm gonna... Okay, here we go. I'm gonna pull this up. Okay, this is what I wanted to talk about. I kept forgetting to talk about this. I do have stuff to talk about. So, let me change stuff for the stream as well. Let me get this pulled up. Hold on, chat. Hold on. Do. Let me change the stream name. I'm locked in, okay? I'm so locked in. Hold on. Hold. Okay, so I wanted to talk about this, but so I saw this video. It came into my feed when it first came out, and I saw this video, but I want to show it anyway. And then we're gonna watch the video that came out after this. So Social Repose, he was someone from like old YouTube, right? He was around like the people like not around, but like the same kind of like stuff like Onision and stuff like that, right? That kind of stuff. But I wanted to talk about this. But her video, Riley Alina, her video got talking about it, got taken down. And we're going to be looking into it, okay? Now, they did do a follow-up video, as they mentioned that they would in this. So, yeah. Also, thank you very much, Starbird, for the $5 US. I'm glad I have pleasantly surprised you. Yes, I do appreciate that. Thank you for sending that in, Starbird. It's very kind of you. But yeah, we're going to look at this. And make sure the things are here. That room is pretty cool. Okay.
Guys, how are you doing today? I hope you are all doing very well. I had to get that YouTuber sigh in there, that, you know, trademark YouTuber sigh at the beginning of every video like this. As you can probably tell, I'm kind of a mess. Didn't do my hair, didn't do my makeup, didn't do anything I normally do before I get on here on camera. This is not like any of my other videos, obviously. This is not scripted, number one. I mean, I have my computer right here, but it's purely to record my audio.
Also, guys, there are 85 of you now watching. Awesome stuff, okay? And only 40 of you have liked the stream. So, if you're new around here, if you're not, I don't care. Like the stream, dislike the stream, whatever you want to do, right? Feel free to give a subscribe, okay? I stream quite frequently, infrequently. I know I was mainly known for doing videos, but the topics that I've been doing have been taking a while to do, okay? They've been taking a long time to do, but they will be in the works. But yeah. Also, good night, Carl.
This is not like my normal content. This is not like my normal videos. This is very different. Very, very different. I have my little emotional support, Monica, with me to talk about this. This is as raw as it gets with me. Like, this is as, you know, raw and candid as I could be, like, on my channel, other than if I came on here crying, which I'm not gonna do. I do cry a lot, but I'm not gonna cry in this video, don't worry. So why am I here? Well, recently, I uploaded a video about almost a week ago now, I believe, 5 or 6 days ago, titled You Don't Know Social Repose. This was part 1 of a 2-part deep dive series I was working on. This video got, within just a few days, almost 150,000 views. It is getting views and traction very, very, very quickly. If you look at my channel right now, you will notice that that video is no longer on my channel.
Ooh.
Why is it no longer on my channel? Well, Richard Geese, aka Social Repose,
his last name is Geese? That's unfortunate.
Filed a copyright strike on my video about him. He filed a copyright strike on my video where I expose him for predatory behavior with his minor fans. In my
What the fuck has Lio sent me? Dude. Hold on. I feel like I should... Because I'm gonna have to... Lio, you're gay. I'm gonna have to download these. Hold on. Why is it labeled feet? Lio, why is the file called feet?
The feet.
Okay, that's why it's called that. Fishy, please clip that. Fishy, please clip that. Okay, hold on. Let me download the other one as well. Fuck's sake. And why is this one called fart? Why is this file called fart? Okay. Hold on. Let me make sure I've got this pulled up. Okay. What the fuck? Okay. What is this?
All women are queens. If she breathes, she's a god.
Dude, this is awesome. Thank you, Liar. What's the second one? Hold on. What is this?
The feet pics, Lord Megatron. Hand them over. Never.
Thank you, Liar.
video where I expose him for having such close proximity to multiple known predators, including Davi Vanity, Brian Stars, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, William Control, Onision, like all of them. All of them. I did quite a bit of investigating for that video. I showed multiple pieces of evidence, you know, everything, like evidence to support my claims
What
of his
the
predatory
fuck is...
behavior with his fans.
I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted. What the fuck is this, Neverless? What is this? What is this? Dude. Why am I like that? What have you done?
Evidence to support my claims that he knew about Davi Vanity's predatory behavior before he went on the Reckoning tour, which I talked about that as well. I brought up a lot of stuff, but the really big part of that video, the really scathing, you know, parts were definitely the parts where I exposed him for being a predator, which is exactly why I think he is doing this. Most of you are probably not new to YouTube and not new to this, especially if you've been a long-time consumer of like YouTube and commentary content in general. But for those of you that don't know, I want to explain the difference between what a copyright claim is and what a copyright strike is. So a copyright claim is when a musician, an artist, a creator, whatever, files a claim on a video made about them where someone utilized their copyrighted material. It can be a video, it can be music, whatever. They file a claim. What that means, that is not a strike against your channel. That usually does not result in any strike or any kind of like punishment towards your channel, right? Usually what happens, there's a few things that can happen there. The claimant can decide, hey, you can't show this video anywhere, right? They can turn off monetization, they can collect ad revenue, the ad revenue that you already collected. There are even times where you can split the ad revenue. Sometimes they give you the option to cut the copyrighted portion out of the video, right? All of that stuff happens. And then basically as a creator, you're given the opportunity to dispute that claim. When you dispute that dispute then goes back to the claimant, not to YouTube. It goes back to the claimant themselves. So in this case, Social Repose, right? Or Onision, but that was my last one. I'll talk about that in a sec. It goes to the claimant. From there, they have 30 days to then dispute. And if they decide to dispute, I can then appeal. Once that appeal happens, that's, I believe, about a 5 to 7 day process where basically YouTube, then and only then does YouTube themselves finally review the material, and then they ultimately decide if this falls under fair use or not. If it doesn't fall under fair use, then you will, from there, get a strike on your channel. If it does fall under fair use, then the claim is dropped and everything goes back to normal. The video is reinstated. You get the ad revenue that's, you know, collected throughout that time, whatever.
Yes.
That
yes.
is, so Onision, recently, I did part 2 of my Onision deep dive series, filed a copyright claim on that video. He filed a copyright claim. I disputed it, and he didn't respond to the dispute within 30 days. So therefore, that video, the ad revenue collected, that will now go to me. And it's not, there's no strike, there's no copyright claim, any of it. Richie bypassed all of that and decided to copyright claim and then immediately follow with a copyright strike.
What?
A copyright strike is a punishment against your channel. That's literally what it is. Unlike a copyright claim where you can like lose ad revenue or like what, you know, have the video taken down, a copyright strike is an attack on the channel. When you get 3 copyright strikes on YouTube, that's it. Literally.
Again, the important context here, right, is she got the strike. She got struck down. But I think that got fixed. We're just gonna, I'm not gonna lie, it kind of drags it long in the tooth, but we're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to the actual main video. I think that's probably a better idea with this.
Guys, how are you doing today? I hope you're all doing very well. Yes, I am back. I am back, and I am back with more updates. Yes. I know you all are very eager to see this unfold. I know you all are very eager for the tea. I've been reading comments and some of them are just absolutely hysterical. You guys have actually, like, thank you so much for like all of the kind, supportive, even just funny comments, like cracking little jokes and stuff, because honestly, that is the thing that's like really helping me get through this right now. I'm like so anxious. I've never had to deal with this before. I didn't think I would have to be dealing with this, at least not for a while, you know, when I was more established as a YouTuber. And it's just a waiting game. Like, I can't really do anything but wait. So I've just been sitting here waiting anxiously, and the only thing I can really do is just come to you guys when there's updates. So I have updates. Here we are. And they are big updates, okay? These are some mega updates.
Yeah.
Once again, like I said in my last video, my title is not clickbait, and I am about to show you that, okay? So why am I here once again? Well, yesterday, I sat down. So like I just said, I can't really do much but sit here and worry and freak out, and that's not really a productive thing to do. So I tried to use a little bit of that worry as like motivation to keep working. So yesterday I sat down to start working on my second Social Repose video, depending on how that goes. I talked about that last video. You can watch that to know more about that. So I started to sit down to work on that. So I go to Social Repose's YouTube page to pick back up in the timeline where I left off in his content. And as I'm doing that, I notice that there's a lot of missing content. Or at least, you know, a lot to me since I spend so much time scrolling through his content. There is a lot of missing stuff. And I'm like, okay, was it always like this? What is the stuff that's missing here? So I look a little bit and I notice that I don't see any videos related to Blood on the Dance Floor. I don't see any vlogs about the Reckoning tour. I don't see the performance between Davi Vanity and Social Repose where they performed their song Sting together. I don't see any of
What?
it. And I'm like, no way. No f***ing way. There's no way. He didn't. So I open my giant Google Doc full of all my research, over 100 pages so far, by the way, and I go to click on those links for those videos. And I'll just put some screen recordings up on the screen so that I can show you that he privated them all. He
Ooh,
privated all of his
yikes.
videos related to Davi Vanity. All of his videos about the Reckoning Tour. All of his videos where he talks about the things that he saw while on that tour. The videos where he talks about the statements that he made knowing that certain people had spoken out about Davi Vanity's predatory behavior pre-Reckoning Tour. He deleted it all.
So he's just entirely covering up his tracks, is what I'm gathering from this. Insane. Insane, chat.
This pretty much verifies exactly what I suspected. Exactly what I suspected, right? I said in my last video that I believe he is doing this false copyright strike because of the stuff that I brought up with the predatory behavior. I believe it is because of this specific stuff related to Davi Vanity. And there's a lot of stuff in that video. There is a lot of stuff that I went over in that video. We went over everything from the beginning. We talked about, aside from, that stuff, we talked about, like, his album releases. We talked about the headdress, all the controversy there. And we spent a lot of time in the last half focusing on MDE, My Digital Escape, and all of the drama there, right? So there was a lot. That was a 2.5-hour video, okay? It was a pretty extensive, it went over a lot, and we didn't even get to the cheating and all of that stuff. That was going to be in part 2. But the most damning, the most scathing stuff in that video was absolutely the evidence that I brought to light of him and Davi Vanity and their connection, both their friendship, their professional relationship, all of it. And he deleted it all. So that pretty much confirms exactly what I suspected, right? So he clearly is scrambling. He is scared. In fact, I think he's terrified because I actually don't think he's ever done this before. I could be wrong. Like I said, I know that I never, FPS Diesel, even Repzilla, like there were many creators throughout the years that called Richie out. I did
not expect a Diesel mention. Crazy, crazy.
Some comments stating that he had done this before to other channels. I didn't know that. I know there was one video by a creator named June the King, I believe it is, who had to unlist their video, and I saw a comment on my short saying that he unlisted his video because Richie did the exact same thing to him with the copyright strike. I don't know if that's true. I have to do more research. I saw another comment on my Instagram saying he did this to iNabber as well. I didn't know any of this. I didn't know that this was apparently something he was doing as well, like copyright striking. I knew that he would respond sometimes. Like I saw that he would like maybe write comments on certain videos criticizing him. I did see that he did like a whole phone call interview with FPS Diesel, right? So I know he does tend to respond. And that's what I was expecting. I was not expecting him to both copyright strike, try to get the video taken down, which he did for now, and then to wipe his content of everything Davi Vanity, which had been up for years, by the way, years on his channel. And it wasn't until I called it out that he suddenly took it all down. That is guilty behavior. That is guilty behavior. Richie, what are you doing, man? What the hell are you doing? It's like I'm almost convinced that I don't even know. Do you want this? Like, are you Streisand affecting this on purpose? I don't understand. What is this about? And I'm not even talking about the strike anymore. Why are you deleting content like this? Why? Why are you doing this? I just don't get it. So I know many of you in the comments were saying, oh my God, somebody has to have these clips somewhere. They have to be archived somewhere. He can't get rid of this information. It has to be somewhere.
Right.
It is somewhere, right? I still have my original video, right? So that's fine. All of the evidence I do have is in Roblox, and it will stay in Roblox for legal reasons until...
In Roblox? What?
All of this is figured out. But that's actually okay. That's okay. That's quite all right, Richie. That's fine. Do you know why that's fine? In order to beat a predator, you got to kind of think like one. And I know that sounds really bad, but you do. You have to kind of think like one. And the thing about me is I've covered many predators on my channel. I've unfortunately encountered predators. I have my own personal experiences with stuff like that, right? So I'm very familiar with them, unfortunately. And I know how they operate. And I know the way they like to hide things. I learned a lot from Onision. I learned a lot from watching Onision's downfall closely for the last 15 years of my life. I unfortunately know how these people operate. And I suspected that Richie might actually do this. Not the copyright strike. I was not anticipating that. But I did anticipate that he might actually delete this content or private it, specifically the Davi Vanity stuff, after my video. I thought that was a possibility. So for that reason, not only did I collect the clips that I used, proving all of the statements he had made, that I showcased. But I also took screenshots of the transcripts from that video.
Ooh,
All of the videos, in
yikes.
fact, actually. Specifically the statements you made regarding what you saw on the Reckoning tour.
Wait, what? Let's have a look. Courteous, Dobby and Jay are friends, and they treated me as such. It was actually really refreshing because I know they have a stigma around them. Other, like New Year's and a few others, have come out and said how terrible they were to them on tour, but that wasn't the case for me. But they were very nice. But I just kind of want to make this video and take you from the beginning to kind of the end of the tour. Interesting.
Actually, specifically the statements you made.
And so a lot of people were singing the lyrics. It was really cool. I also learned that girls will lie about their age. People will pretty much promise you anything in order to get into the green room or backstage. Honestly, I couldn't have done any part of the tour without Alina. I mean, it was kind of an inside thing where I let her hold my wallet, my phone, my keys for every show until pretty much we left the venue. Interesting.
Regarding what you saw on the Reckoning tour.
On social media, I really didn't have a lot of music out there, but I was ready to do it, and Blood on the Dance Floor at the time already did not have a great reputation. Everyone, at least in the scene, already knew that Darby Vanity was a creep. Like, it was known information. None of it was obviously confirmed because he would go to jail if it was confirmed. That's not how that works. Because you know how statutory rape is a thing, but none of it was confirmed, and this big artist offered me a tour.
Specifically the statements you made, where you confirmed that you knew that Ash Costello had spoken out in 2012 about Davi Vanity's predatory behavior before you went on tour. How you said you witnessed Davi Vanity encouraging underage fans, to take off their tops on the Reckoning tour. How you saw them attempting to try and get backstage. How you knew it was mostly children at these shows. In 2020, when you confirm, following the Chris Hansen investigation into Davi Vanity, that it was well-known information at the time in the scene that Davi was a child predator, but that you didn't care because it wasn't confirmed. So you went on that tour anyway.
It's so over.
I took screenshots of transcripts of all of those statements so that you could see them down to the minute and down to the second. 2 steps ahead. I am always 2 steps ahead. You can run, but you can't hide. Not from me, Richie. Not from me. Not from me. I wasn't initially going to come out with this video this quickly. I did post a short, I posted a reel across all my platforms, TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff, right? Briefly mentioning this. I have decided ultimately to come on here and make this video because I did see some comments saying that he was doing this to buy time. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. What that means that he's buying time. My mind is going at a million beats per minute, a million thoughts per minute, thinking of different possibilities. And I kind of interpreted that as he might make his own response. And he might try to change the narrative in the meantime of these few days while the video is taken down and while his Davi Vanity videos are taken down. I also had the thought that he might take those videos down and then put them back up and try to claim that I was lying about them being taken down and try to discredit me, all of these possibilities. So I am coming on here to show what I have specifically in regards to Davi Vanity, as well as the predatory allegations against social Repose, all of that stuff. I am going to show the transcripts and I'm going to show the screenshots I have. I'm obviously not going to show the clips that are in Roblox that I don't actually have possession of. I'm not going to show the clips that are in Roblox that I don't have possession of, obviously, right?
Oh, I think they're saying Roblox, not Roblox.
Considering what's going on right now, but I am going to show all of the transcripts. I'm going to show the screenshots. I'll show the original links to those videos so that you can all have the proof, so that you can all see it for yourselves, so that he can't try and change the narrative and say whatever he's going to say, that he didn't know, that I'm a liar, whatever. This is what I have, okay? Do what you want with this. Share these screenshots. Share this video. You can clip my video. I do not care. I'm sure it's not going to copyright you. Share this everywhere. Seriously. He cannot get away with this. And he clearly has something to hide. Clearly something happened on that tour. Clearly something happened on that tour because he would not be doing this if it didn't. So he removed his 14th and his 15th vlog. So Richie has vlogs all numbered from starting from 1 to I believe the 15th one was actually the last vlog in that installment. So he removed the 14th and the 15th vlog. I took screenshots of both of them. The 14th vlog he removed, that one actually didn't really have anything to do with Davi Vanity. That one had to do with Brian Stars. So Brian Stars, another thing, by the way, that I brought up amidst all of the other stuff, is like all of the predator associations Richie has. Richie has associations with multiple known predators. I've said it already a million times before, but I'll just say it again because I know it off the top of my heart. Davi Vanity, Brian Stars, Jeffree Star, Shane Dawson, Onision, Lucas, William Control, Austin Jones.
So this guy was like the fucking like Epstein of like the music scene. It's what I'm gathering from this. He just knew every single predator in the fucking book. He knew the entire rogues gallery at this point and just knew about all of them. Insane.
Like he has so many known predator associations, it's actually crazy. And one of them is Brian Stars. He met Brian Stars in 2012, and that there's a whole thing there. I go into all the MD stuff. It's very important, okay? In this 14th vlog is where he says he's going to try and have Brian Stars premiere his new music video. So that was in 2012. He never premiered his music video, by the way, but they did end up meeting later in 2012, and I have this picture of them meeting from Richie's Facebook page. I'm not sure if he wiped his Facebook. I haven't gotten that far. It doesn't matter. I have all the stuff, so that's fine. So he took that down. That to me is so bizarre because, like, the Davi Vanity stuff, that's a little bit more like you kind of have to dig for that stuff. That's not going to be immediately on the surface if you go like search up social repose in YouTube or whatever. But like his association with Brian Stars has been very public for a very long time. So that is a very weird thing to hide. Maybe he's trying to hide the fact that he met Brian Stars in 2012, right? Because I did bring up that I believe that he, in my, like, before I did research, I was under the impression that he met Brian Stars post My Digital Escape creation. This piece of evidence I showed proved that he met Brian Stars a couple years before MTE was even created. And there's reasons why I brought that up, okay? So he deleted that. Interesting. So the second vlog, his 15th vlog from Halloween 2012, he also deleted this one. Now, this one is odd. Well, actually, I guess not as much. So he does talk about Davi Vanity in this video a little bit. Not like too much. So this is for a show that he was playing in Pennsylvania with Broken Side. Broken Side ended up taking him from the show.
They've arrived. Unfortunately, tickets are only good for the Broken Side date, but this show could be a break for me. Tickets are now for sale and now $15. Comment or shoot me a message if you'd like me to mail you one.
Due to a hurricane warning or whatever, but he did bring up in this video, he talked about Blood on the Dance Floor briefly, saying Blood on the Dance Floor is way better live than I thought they would be. I didn't take a screenshot of that transcript because that doesn't really mean much, right? He does also talk about Jeffree Star in this video and what it was like playing with Jeffree Star and all this stuff. Like that was just the show. Like he has another known predator association, and Jeffree Star also has allegations specifically from this time. Kat Penbarge was the journalist who brought this to light initially.
Jeffree Star's accused of saying the makeup mogul has a history of sexual assault, physical violence, and hush money offers. Crazy.
He has a whole article going over all of the SA allegations, but a lot of them come specifically from this Warped Tour era.
I didn't realize we're proper in like Dramageddon stuff here. Fucking hell.
And Jeffree was extremely close with Blood on the Dance Floor. They toured, they played shows together constantly. I mean, they were deeply intertwined, and there's all kinds of drama there too. But that's just.
I'm going to speak out the truth till I die. We both saw Blood on the Dance Floor music with Davi bring underage girls to his hotel room and do sexual things, 100% illegal. I no longer support Blood on the Dance Floor, and I'm disgusted how disgusting Davi is. Touching kids and enjoying the attention is evil. Fuck off, sicko. Being on tour with that child fucker has made me see the truth. I regret ever doing a song with that pig. Rip, because you'll never be me. If you support that piece of shit, then unfollow me because you're supporting child molestation. Davi is the lowest, worthless scum I've ever met. Okay.
Yet another close predator association. So I brought that up in here. But the really big thing in this video that I initially didn't think much of, but maybe I should, was this brief interaction that I caught on camera. And I took screenshots of it aside from clips that are in Roblox, but I did take screenshots of it so that you can see where he's meeting fans after this show. And he takes a picture with this one fan who appears to be a female, and she turns around and she kisses him on the cheek. Now, when I initially brought this up in the video, I wasn't necessarily making the point that this was an underage fan. In fact, I went really far out of my way. I went and looked for the date of the show. I saw the ticket. The ticket said all ages, you have to verify to be 21 to drink. I noticed, and I pointed this out in my video, that in this clip, Richie and this girl appear to be wearing white bracelets. And I'm a frequent concert goer, so I pointed out that those are likely drinking bracelets. So I pointed out that Richie was also over 21 when this picture was taken, and I said she's likely also probably 21 due to those context clues. I wasn't making an allegation that this girl was a child. what I was trying to say when I pointed this out was that these types of fan interactions, specifically letting fans kiss you, kissing them, sometimes writing your autograph like on their chest and things like stuff like that, was a lot more commonplace in this era of time. And this video was taken, and I believe, so this was posted, the vlog number 15 was posted Halloween 2012. So this was in 2012. This was very common.
This is
Right? Not
old
only was
stuff.
Bobby Vanity doing this stuff, but so was Shane Dawson. And I even included a clip from Nikki Carry-On's coverage of Shane Dawson, where she shows some of these fan interactions where you can literally see he's letting fans kiss him, he's kissing fans himself. The point I was trying to demonstrate is that it makes me wonder if these interactions were commonplace with Richie. That's what I was trying to say. And a bigger point, further, right? Richie's fans is almost entirely comprised of underage girls. That was another big thing that I brought up too. His fans are mostly underage girls, like with Davi Vanity, like with Shane Dawson, right? Like with all of these other predators that he's close with. It's mostly underage girls. And I showed tons of pictures and from meet and greets, from concerts, from Warped Tour to like kind of demonstrate that, right? I'm sure I'll put those up here as well. That was the point I was trying to make there. So the fact that he removed that, like that almost makes me wonder. So did he verify her age though? Was I wrong about those bracelets being drinking bracelets or something? Like, because why would he hide? I didn't even make an allegation that that girl was underage. In fact, I said the opposite. So that's really bizarre.
Yeah, it looks extremely suspect if the accusation was never meant to be the fact that, like, oh, they're underage. This is, like, they are underage or anything like that. And then you're removing the evidence? It just makes you look so much more suspicious. Interesting.
That one's weird. There could be a number of reasons why he removed that one. Like I said, he did briefly bring up Blood on the Dance Floor. He did also talk about Jeffree Star. And then there was this. Do with that what you will, okay? He felt the need to delete that, apparently. So the other thing he deleted was his October 2013 vlog, and this was posted October 2nd, 2013. I did find a screen grab of this from the Wayback Machines, so a lot of these have not been archived, but apparently a couple people did archive them. So in this video, this is where he says he got to open for Blood on the Dance Floor. He says he got to talk to Davi and that he's actually pretty cool. He says he's going to open for them in the future. And then there's also this photo of them together that was from, he posted it in 2013, but it was actually taken in 2012. It was taken at the same time.
What? You know, for all the virtual hate Davi gets, he's actually a pretty nice fellow, at least when I chatted with him. Yikes.
Of them together that was from, he posted it in 2013, but it was actually taken in 2012. It was taken at the same time that he met Brian Stars in 2012. And if you look and you cross compare, he's wearing all of the exact same things, down to the jewelry, down to the scarf, down to the hairstyle, like the shirt, everything. So for a lot of those reasons, so this is from 2012. He met Davi Vanity in 2012, even though this picture was posted in 2013. Okay. And then I took screenshots from this as well, where you can see this. These are mostly underage girls just standing outside waiting for this social Repose Blood on the Dance Floor show.
Yeah.
So he removed that one as well. This one he removed, Why You Shouldn't Hate Falling in Reverse, Blood on the Dance Floor, Bring Me the Horizon, etc. This one, I don't even know why. I don't know why he deleted this, because this one, like he was kind of, he didn't really like, he was kind of glazing Blood on the Dance Floor in the sense like he was saying like their image is art, they have their image perfected, like he's not much of a Blood on the Dance Floor fan, but he has a lot of respect for them, blah blah blah. This video aged like milk, and I actually included this video because I was very upset that he put Bring Me the Horizon in the same sentence as Falling in Reverse and Blood on the Dance Floor, when we all know Bring Me the Horizon is far superior to those two. Seriously?
Lol.
What is that? Whatever. Why did you delete that? You didn't even say anything like super incriminating other than saying you like Blood on the Dance Floor. What are you thinking, bro? This is such guilty behavior. Such guilty behavior. So then this next one he removed, and this was actually the one that I showed in my little short. Like I showed a brief screen recording of me clicking this link and then it showing it was private. So this was titled Warped Tour 2014, Blood on the Dance Floor Touring, New EP, blah, 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 Social Repose Vlog, July. This was posted July 7th, 2014. This, it's also been privated. In this one, he says he got to meet Davi and Jay, and that they're really nice guys. I might have a screenshot of those transcripts. I'm not sure, but that's fine.
Okay,
because I took a screenshot of them performing on stage together. So
yeah, it just seems like a bunch of like,
that, right?
he's trying to remove all the evidence of his previous associations, which I don't understand why. I don't understand why, because it's been publicly known for people who would have been fans from that time period, right? It would have been documented in other videos. Like, it's the internet. They would have never been able to get rid of like all of the evidence with this in the slightest. I genuinely have no clue what the fuck they're doing.
I did also show in there the tour poster or the show poster that Richie posted to his Facebook for this specific show. And here's another picture of him, I believe from the same show with some of his fans. So, just more proof. Then we get to the Reckoning Tour. So this is the Reckoning Tour poster. So Richie, in November of 2014 to I believe the beginning of 2015, went on a full US tour with Blood on the Dance Floor. This was a huge point of contention in my argument, this specific tour that he went on, the Reckoning Tour. November 2014 to the beginning. Actually, I have it right here, so let me just see. No, so it was November. So it was November from December. So it wasn't into January. But he had mentioned that it was about a month long or a month and a half long that they went touring. And there's multiple. I have his original poster that he posted on his Facebook with his image on it and the dates. I have the original Reckoning Tour poster here, and I have another that's like his actual Facebook posting it right. So he has 3 vlogs from the Reckoning Tour, day 1, day 2, and day 3 of the Reckoning Tour. I didn't include any clips of those. They're not all that interesting. The most interesting thing, like I did take some screenshots of him, like at the show. I took this one where he's taking like a selfie video and you can see Davi performing on stage there. That's from day 2 of the vlog. Those vlogs have all been privated as well. They're, as you can see, they're not even that long. Like the first vlog is day 1 of the Reckoning Tour. That was only 45 seconds long, not that interesting. Day 2 was 1 minute and 14 seconds. I did get this picture of Lexi, one of the girls, spoiler alert, that he cheated on Jacqueline Glenn with, wearing his headdress. Cheater and a cultural appropriator. They're perfect for each other.
Lol.
And then day 3 of the Reckoning. Yeah, that one was 45 seconds too. So I didn't include any clips of those, but that's just proof. Like he took some little vlogs while on the Reckoning Tour, right? Whatever. He also privated his performance of Texting with Davi Vanity, which I took a screen grab of that as well. So you can see proof that that was there. That was posted December 14th, 2014. Then this one. So this is the really damning stuff, okay? What I learned on my first national tour with Blood on the Dance Floor. This was posted December 29th, 2014. I had to take a screenshot of it before it was privated. And I did take multiple transcripts as well. So he says he's been on tour for the past month and a half, and this is where he said, as you can see, so this screenshot accidentally says Davi instead of Davi, but we all know he's talking about Davi. The title is literally about Blood on the Dance Floor. So
okay, let's see. November with Blood on the Dance Floor, and let me tell you, it was a doozy. So just to kind of say this up front, I do not make this video to talk shit about Blood on the Dance Floor or Blood Dance Floor or shit on anyone in their crew or team, because actually they weren't really the problem on this tour. They were there. They were nothing but courteous. Davi and Jay are my friends, and they treated me as such. It was actually really refreshing. Interesting.
and you can see blood on the dance floor being talked about in this, right? So whatever. In this, he says, let me just tell you, it was a doozy. Just to say this up front, I'm not making this video to talk crap about blood on the dance floor or crap on anyone in their crew or team, because actually they weren't really the problem on this tour. They were nothing but courteous. Sorry, transcripts are weird. They were nothing but courteous. Davi and Jay are my friends, and they treated me as such. It was actually really refreshing because I know they have a stigma around them. Other bands like New Year's Day and a few others have come out and said how they were terrible to them on tour, but that wasn't the case for me. They were very nice. I just wanted to make this video, take you from the beginning to the end of the tour, blah, blah, blah. So from there, I used that as a piece of evidence.
So he was definitely aware of like the online stigma, or at least these allegations surrounding these different people at that time, and was still choosing to defend them and keep around them. So he was definitely aware of these different people's actions and decided he did not want to distance himself from it.
To support my argument that he knew about the allegations and that he knew that Davi was a child predator before he went on the Reckoning tour. The reason why I said that is because what he's talking about here with New Year's Day. So New Year's Day and Ash Costello initially came out with claims that Davi Vanity had not only assaulted Ash like multiple times, not just on stage, but like, you know, behind the scenes. I think he had like choked her once. Like there was a lot of stuff. Some of it was even caught on video. I'm not going to play any clips here, but I showed how the merch guy, so this was something I technically got wrong. Ash Costello wasn't the one that technically posted online. It was the merch guy for New Year's Day that posted online, but relayed a lot of the allegations that Ash Costello made. He made a blog post in 2012 detailing everything, and I put screenshots of that in my original video as well. All those claims. It's a very long article to read. It's a very long article to read, but you should. It's very, very, very detailed. What I was trying to claim by showing this statement was that he knew that New Year's Day had spoken out in 2012, which means that he knew before he went on the tour. I did do some devil's advocate saying, like, oh, well, maybe he thought there were creative differences. Maybe he didn't know the extent of the issues, right? And so then from there, I showed even more statements from his video in 2020 following the Chris Hansen investigation into Davi Vanity. This is where some of the most damning stuff is. And yes, I have transcripts of all of it. All of it. So here's a screenshot of this video when it was initially posted. I have a few of them. I have one of him smiling because yes, he was smiling the entire time in this video. Even when talking about Davi Vanity's crimes, he was smiling, beaming, like Jake Monroe style beaming.
Dude.
If you know that reference. That's for another video. Here's the transcript of him admitting that he learned on the tour with Blood on the Dance Floor. This was posted in his video, what I learned on my tour with Blood on the Dance Floor, that one. He also says, this is where he says in the transcript that he saw that girls were lying about their age to try and get backstage, right? I said that that was kind of proof that he saw some more things on the tour that he claims, you know, he claims he didn't see anything on the tour, but then he says that, and I'm like, okay, well, that to me is something, right? But whatever, that's whatever, right? He claims he saw girls trying to get backstage. Not that he saw them actually being taken backstage, which I pointed out is very convenient considering literally everyone else, Jeffree Star, Ash Costello, New Year's
New Year's Age, yeah.
Day saw him bringing people backstage, but Richie conveniently was the only one that didn't.
Yeah, but the interesting thing is, like, he says that, like, he did not see people getting brought backstage, but, like, he's yet still was aware of the accusations against them and decided to stay associated with them despite that fact. And as we've seen through this video, prior to the vlogs showing that he had previous associations with all these people, it's just very suspicious, extremely suspect, actions on Social Repose's part.
Yeah. Guilty behavior per usual. So then here are the transcripts of all of the things from the 2020 video, right? Following Chris Hansen. So he says here, this was the most damning one, where I'm like, he knew. Because at the 7-minute and 4-second mark, he says blood on the dance floor at the time already did not have a great reputation. Everyone, at least in the scene, already knew that Davi Vanity was a creep. Like, it was known information. None of it obviously confirmed, because he would go to jail if it was confirmed, because, statutory is a thing, but none of it was confirmed, and this big artist offered me a tour.
So he was fully aware of the accusations against Davi Vanity, right? And yet decided to just go on the tour anyway. You're just like, oh, he's a big artist, okay? I should do this, it'll be great for my career. Sweeps for pedophile? What are you talking about?
He knew. It was well-known information in the scene, but none of it was confirmed. And he offered him a big tour. So he said, f it, and told his child fans to attend that tour. Here's where some of the statements he made, that he knew there were children at the show, right? So here, what does this say? So 7 minutes, 44 seconds. Within the handful of phone calls I had pre-tour with Davi and Howie, his $4,000, then I would ask him, what exactly should I expect from this tour? And he told me that there was going to be between 300 and 500 kids a show.
Dude,
which
what
is,
the fuck?
I'm like, for me, I mean, I'm happy if there's 20 kids in the audience. Imagine 500. And then in this other transcript, at the 8-minute, 19-second marks, he says, of my life, average show I had would say 75 kids maybe. So those were just statements I was making, saying that he knew there were kids at that show, right? He knew that it was mostly children at those shows when he attended them, when he knew that Davi Vanity was a predator, right? There was more screenshots here. So at the end of it, I really thought about it, and my later interactions with Davi showed me that business-wise, I mean, past all the allegations, which we will get to, business-wise, he has no problem taking advantage of smaller bands and people in vulnerable positions outside of contact. Like, even with the money, he will see an impressionable band and be like, oh, you have money? Oh, I'll take that. And then here he says, I'm trying to build a case here against his character. I mean, obviously, we all know about the allegations. Dozens of women have come forward, some of them as young as 11 or 12.
Jesus
which is like
Christ.
Austin Jones territory. Who he is also friends with, by the way.
Yeah.
And played, sorry, he was friends with, and then he played a few shows on tour with him as well, by the way.
Insane.
He was in his mid-20s at this time. He is 36 now, because time never stops and steamrolls us. So this, I don't think I included this initially in the video, but I took screen grabs of this because I was trying to say that he seems to care a lot more about the fact that he feels as though Davi Vanity kind of scammed him, like money-wise, rather than being mad about everything that's come up about Davi. So I didn't put those screenshots in the video because the video is already 2.5 hours long, okay? I can only fit so many shitty things Richie has done in one single sitting, all right? Okay, so this is the transcript where he says that he didn't see anything, right? So speaking of disgusting behavior, I can say definitively, like personally, no. I never saw him, at least, and this was 2014, I never saw him directly, like, pull people onto his bus and, like, have sex with underage girls, anything like that, obviously. If you see something like that, you go straight to the police. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's a felony. That's jail time.
Dude.
I personally didn't witness anything. But I did see him encouraging fans to take their tops off. And I did see fans attempting to get backstage, lying about their age.
It seems to be like Social Repose has got the opinion of, like, if he didn't directly see the crime being committed, if he wasn't in the room where it happened, he's not liable, or he's not, like, got any level of responsibility as an adult to stop it from happening. Like, you see some guy, like, going ahead and leading a kid into a tour bus or something like that, you need to fucking step up. What are you talking about? Dude, rockstar culture is just so disgusting.
Just to get backstage. Got it. We all know that's bullshit, by the way, or else you wouldn't be deleting this shit. Okay, yeah. So this is the part where he says it. So in this transcript, he talks about how all of their lyrics are incredibly raunchy. A lot of it revolves around and things like that, right? Sure, that's fine. And then he follows. He says he would yell things at the crowd, like, take your shirts off, like, throw me your bras. And mind you, most of the crowd was underage. Like, of them so morally as in
It's like covering your eyes with your hands and going, if I can't see them, they can't see me. That, but much worse. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. It's exactly what he's saying right now.
artist, if you are performing a show and it is a scene of 13-year-old kids, do not tell them to take their shirts off. Yeah, whatever. You didn't seem to have a problem with it, Richie.
Yeah.
Because you didn't.
He was literally just a bystander in the sense of like he had a level of responsibility within the situation to do something about it, and yet he chose not to do anything because he was getting paid. That seemed to have been his major concern of like this guy was giving him a big major business opportunity, right? Or like a career boost. And that is why he decided not to do anything about it. That is exactly what it seems to be.
Say any of this, so you saw this in 2014, but you didn't even say it until 2020. And now you're deleting it.
Yeah.
So what do you have to hide? What happened on that tour? Because something happened or else you wouldn't be doing this.
Yo, welcome in K-Huck. Thank you for the raid. We have covered some Go Kato and Given Ant drama, and now we're talking about social repose, okay? I've been wanting to cover this little bit of a topic for a little bit. I entirely forgot what the fuck it was. But yeah, who the fuck are you? I'm the person who runs K-Huck's channel from the shadows, okay? I'm the mastermind behind it all. Teehee.
You did something. Or many things. Honestly. Oh, and this is where he also says that they were so this is where he also mentions again that girls are trying to get on the tour bus. This is a second statement he made confirming that in this video. I would see the parents in the back just like letting it all happen. So definitely many times on that tour, I would be like, where the heck are your parents? Like some of these kids would just be trying to get on Davi's bus or trying to hook up with band members. He says he didn't see anything. I didn't see him pull anyone on stage, but I did see many people attempting to get backstage. You seem to be the only.
Hi, Mr. Huck. Hi. Hi, Bimbo. Or Himbo, sorry. I hope you're doing well, okay? I'm sending you all of the prayers and all of the wishes, okay? I hope you guys have an excellent day, okay?
One that didn't see it. And you seem to be the only one hiding evidence. So I think you did see more. I think you did actually see more. Here's another transcript where he claims that the Jesse Slaughter thing was proven to be false. That's literally not true. That's not true. That's not true at all. It was not proven to be false. Not at all. In fact, that's one of the biggest points of contention with Davi Vanity is the Jesse Slaughter case specifically, who now goes by Damien. Jesse Slaughter, that's not their birth name. That's like a, what do you call it? Like, not like an alias, but like kind of like a stage name, but they do go by Damien now. Yeah, here he says he talks a little bit more about Chris Hansen. He mentions how he found the Jeffree Star interview with Chris Hansen very interesting. He tries to basically, he's like, yeah, I agree with what Jeffree Star said, that he was just like, I was intimidated. And it's like, you're full.
What?
Obviously. That's not true. That's not why you didn't say anything. You didn't say anything because you're guilty. You didn't say anything because you also did stuff on that tour, allegedly, obviously. Oh, and this is where he said, so this was another thing where I said that I don't think he's being truthful when he says he didn't see anything on this tour, because here he also mentions that he personally knows. So he says that not only could this potentially be involving hundreds of underage girls, saying dozens have come forward, which is true, he was right, but he even goes on to say that he personally knows 5 or 6 of the victims.
What?
So between all of that,
and from what we can see, he just did nothing about that, despite knowing the victims. Context for you guys who are just coming in, by the way. I was originally planning on covering this, what's her name again? Her original video, Riley Elena. She had a video talking about social repose, and it got taken down because social repose decided to copyright strike them. But yeah, they've done this as sort of like a follow-up video, I think, with stuff like that. So the update is really, after her video went live and stuff like that, Social Repose started deleting all of the vlog videos and stuff like that in relation to like the Blood on the Dance Floor tours and stuff like that, and to do with like Dobby Vanity and the accusations related to Dobby Vanity. But she's just going through like the transcripts and stuff like that, showing off the evidence of what actually he was saying in those videos.
And I even went a little bit into the crimes that Davi Vanity committed, and I specifically talked about like the dozens of girls that came forward, everything from like grooming, allegations, kissing, groping, to like forcible. A lot of the allegations, unfortunately,
Jesus.
being that. I mentioned how I showed how basically he was not only abusing girls before and after directly before and after this tour, and continued to go on to abuse girls for years. But I even showed one specific victim of Davi. Her name is Nydia, and I reached out to her personally. She has about 4 videos on her personal channel, her YouTube channel, where she talks about her experience with being groomed by Davi as a teenager. I talked to her because I had noticed in my research that she went to a couple of the shows in 2014 for Blood on the Dance Floor. So I reached out to her and I'm like, hey, did you attend the Reckoning tour? And did you like see anything? Did you have any interactions with Davi, whatever? She ended up showing me selfies she took at one of the dates on the Reckoning tour with Davi. Now, the thing about this is Nydia was technically 18 when this picture was taken. So even though Davi had been grooming her for years up until that point when she was a child, by the time those images were taken at the Reckoning tour, she was 18. I stated that. But I also stated that to me, even though she was technically 18, I think we should consider it in the context of, is Richie, did Richie actually see anything or not? Because the fact that he was clearly still interacting with his victims while on the Reckoning tour makes it that much more unlikely that Richie did not see anything while on this tour. And mind you, we were only, in that video, I was only really entertaining the premise that he saw things on that tour. I wasn't necessarily entertaining the premise that he did things on that tour. I said that he saw things that he knew. So deleting all of this stuff, now my brain's going farther. Now I'm like, okay, so what did you do on the tour? Right? Because truthfully, I think I did a lot of work at the same time. None of this stuff is technically did I make a strong case, I believe, in the court of public opinion? Sure. Legally? No. None of the stuff that I'm showing, a lot of this stuff, while I do think it's damning, a lot of it is his own statements, right? And things like that. And a lot of evidence I presented, sure. It is speculative at the end of the day, a lot of it. So for him to respond in this way, to take down the video and then wipe this content, what are you hiding? What are you hiding? What did you do? What the fuck did you do, Richie? What the fuck did you do? What did you do? Who did you hurt? And how many of them are there? How many? I hate that I was right. I hate that I was right. I was right and I hate it. I hate it. I said I knew that there was something more nefarious going on here. I knew that these weren't all coincidences. I knew it wasn't just a coincidence that he had all these predator associations, all these statements he made, his connection with Davi Vanity, all of that. I knew it wasn't a coincidence. I knew there was something more nefarious. I wanted to be wrong. I was not. I was not wrong. And I got multiple DMs of even more claims of things that took place specifically during that tour that I'm not going to talk about here out of respect for those people. I wasn't going to bring it up until later. But yes, I was fucking right. And I hate that I was right, but I was right. You're a predator, Richie. You're a fucking child predator. Allegedly. Go fuck yourself. Go fuck your fucking allegedly. Go fuck yourself, asshole. And then what do I have here? Oh, and then in these transcripts at the end, he talks about, he mentions Ash Costello once again. He says, I know Ash Costello is coming out about it. Jeffree Star is coming out about it, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, Ash Costello had already come out about it, and you knew that. You knew that. You said that in 2014. Shut your mouth, Richie. Liar. So that was all the Davi Vanity stuff. And then I brought up some other stuff regarding predatory interaction. So one of the things I brought up specifically was this fan interaction. This had already been covered. So this was covered years ago. FPS Diesel covered it. I think maybe Repzilla might have covered it. I'm not sure. I don't know if I never covered it, but this was covered years ago. I actually had to rely on FPS Diesel's coverage specifically because these videos that this girl originally made, these TikToks.
Shout out to the Goblin.
I'm guessing probably for the same reason. I'm guessing Richie probably intimidated her into doing that. So I did have to use some of his coverage of that because he has those original clips and videos. But in that, she shows an interaction, Facebook messages between her and Richie when she was 15 years old. In these interactions, so there's no explicit messages, there's no explicit images. In this interaction, he's trying to verify whether she's 15 or 16. He's verifying this with the hope that she is 16 so that he can go and pursue her. 16 is still a child, even if it's the legal age of consent in the state that he was going to, right? 16 is a child. So he was more than willing to meet up with this 16-year-old to do God knows what. But she turned out to be 15, so, he was upset about that, but he still continued to talk to her and call her baby. And he talked to her for a long time. FPS Diesel pointed out that these conversations took place in November of 2014, all the way into 2015. What was happening in November of 2014? Oh, that's right, the Reckoning tour. Oh, that's right, you were going on tour with a child predator.
Ooh.
That's what was happening in 2014, in November. Yeah. Something else I showcased was a clip. I'm not gonna play that here, but I believe I have transcripts of that as well that I'll put up here. This was a clip that he made a comment in a video he did. It was a Marry Kill challenge. If you guys remember when that was a thing, right? Those challenges.
Jesus.
In this video, he states in one of these challenges that he would have sex with Alex Dorame. He says, I would have sex with Alex Dorame, immediately follows it with, I'm pretty sure she's underage. And then he says something like she's 16, 17, whatever. And she's like, well, she's cute and she's the only girl, whatever, I'm moving on. I showed that. And I showed how when this video was taken, which I believe it was 2014, maybe the beginning of 2015, Either way, she was 17 years old when he made that statement.
What the fuck?
Alex Dorme was 17 years old when he made that statement.
Dude.
So I could have sworn that I took a screenshot of this specific transcript where he makes this comment about Alex Dorme. Unfortunately, I did not for whatever reason. And yes, he did private this video. So you can take my word for this or not. Everyone all 148,000 people who watched that original video saw that I presented that statement. Like I said, I have my original video. There's evidence in Roblox. So like you can take my word or not on this specific, claim. There's a reason he deleted it, okay? If you look up that video now, it's not there. Why is it not there? Because I called him out for what he said. Do with that what you will. He made that statement. He went on record and he said that he would have sex with Alex Dorme, followed it with, I'm pretty sure she's underage. I'm pretty sure she's underage. Decided to leave that in the video for me to find years later and showcase on my channel. Didn't verify whether or not she actually was underage before he...
It just seems like he's just so, like, blatantly aware of, like, what the fuck he's doing, but, like, he's just hoping the fact that, like, his fans are, like, younger, that they won't actually end up looking into it any deeper. That's what it comes off to me. Like, it seems like any sort of, like, rational logic with this guy got thrown out the window years ago.
Posted that, which I was able to verify instantly when I saw it, right? So that was just another example of him making, in my opinion, a very inappropriate statement about an underage YouTuber. And I went on this whole tangent about I don't care that this was a Marry Kill challenge. It's not a joke. There is no excuse for a grown 24-year-old man to go on his platform and say he would have sex with an underage YouTuber and not verify her age and then go on record and say that.
Exactly.
I am almost 25 years old. As an almost 25-year-old, that is not acceptable. I don't want to see any bull in my comments. I agree. Yourself. So there was that. There was this other clip that I had where he goes on record stating he would, in fact, date a fan. I think I have transcripts of that as well that I'll post here. He would date a fan just as long as the relationship is equal, which I would date a fan. I would get...
Again, there is already a power dynamic there if you're dating a fan, right? You need to be extremely careful if you ever end up doing that sort of thing. Like, there is always going to be a power dynamic there. That can always be leveraged. So you need to be extremely careful in that aspect.
Into a relationship with an inherent power imbalance, but it just has to be equal. The inherent power imbalance has to be equal for the relationship to work. Oh, and by the way, I just want to remind again, and this was why I brought this statement up, aside from the fact that I think dating fans, adult or not, is also predatory.
Like, the only instant I can think of that might be acceptable if they're, like, both musicians of, like, an equal size in terms, and, like, they're a fan of that person's, like, music, and then they get into a relationship, maybe I could see that. But again, it's so, like... It's such, like, a fine line of, like, of an inherent, like, power imbalance between someone who's got some level of fame or stuff like that and a fan of them.
Whether you're dating an adult fan, child fan, I think that's predatory, right? But again, who are his fans? Who are most of his fans?
Yeah.
Children, girls.
Yes.
And think about the fan that he tried to meet up with who he thought was hoping she was 16. So that statement, he would date a fan, I actually think is a little bit more nefarious than just, like, even if he would date an adult fan. No, he would date a child fan too, apparently. As long as they're 16. So
what
yeah.
The fuck?
This is not scripted, super scatterbrained. Again, I'm sorry. I know I'm not. I tried to go kind of in chronological order with this, but this is, it's all scrambled. So that is what I have that isn't the clips. That was all of the stuff specifically in the portion related to Dobby vanity and the predatory behavior that I included. This is the stuff that he is trying to hide, which again, a lot of this stuff, while I do think I made a compelling argument, I pulled together a lot of statements, put together timelines, cross-reference, talked to victims of Dobby. Like, I think I made a very compelling argument. I clearly made a very compelling argument. But a lot of it was technically speculative. It wasn't definitive, right? I was looking for more definitive stuff. I was asking people to DM me with their...
What the fuck is this thing? Have I been turned into a little pet store? Dude, this is awesome, Nabi. This is awesome. Marketable yen LPS. Evil stuff.
Their experiences, if they had any, but none of it was technically legally, like, definitive. So this is all the stuff that he's trying to hide. This is the stuff that he doesn't want you to know. Do with that what you will. Do with that what you will. What I will say, I think he's guilty. 100%. And if I was slightly uncertain before, I am certain now. Because someone who isn't guilty would not do this. They would not go to these lengths to hide this stuff.
Exactly.
A guilty person would do this. A guilty person would do this. If any of you do have any of this stuff archived on your own, I'm just going to leave that in the air for legal reasons. If you guys have any of these clips on your own, if you guys have any of these videos on your own, if you have any of these statements on your own,
yeah, buddy.
Yeah, just saying, just going to put that out there. I know this wasn't super organized. I know this is very random. I really wanted to come on here and say this stuff and put this stuff out here because again, I don't know what his next move is, and I'm anxious, and I'm afraid that he's taking this content down, that he might put it back up, that he might try to discredit me, that he might try to manipulate the narrative and things like that. So that's why I'm rushing on here to like put all of this out there so that he can't do that. So that he can't turn around and twist my words. So that he can't, claim that I was lying and like put the content back up and say I was lying about him deleting it and,
exactly.
try and discredit me and all that stuff. So here you go. This is all the WAnity stuff. This is everything Richie doesn't want you to know. This is everything he's trying to hide. If anyone else has anything from this era, I said this in my original video, but I'll say it again here. DM me on Instagram. Even if any of you have any kind of interaction with Richie, it doesn't even have to be predatory. It could be a mean comment he said to you once. It could be a hate comment he left on your video. I don't care. If anyone has anything that they want to talk to me about with Richie, anything at all, I will gladly listen. It doesn't have to go in a video. It doesn't have to, it can be fully anonymous. Our conversation can stay completely private. I've had many people DM me, a lot of people I've had contact with. Sometimes people just have things they want to say and they don't want them to be posted, and they just want to tell someone. They've just been holding on to something and they want someone to know. I can be that person. If you just want someone to know and you don't want something in a video and blah, 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 if you just want someone to know if something happens, someone who will believe you, DM me on Instagram and I will gladly talk to you and work with you any way you want. I'll keep your stuff private. I can post your statements and keep them anonymous. There are some people that I will hopefully be doing that. We'll see. It depends on where all this goes. I can also work with anyone who wants to go fully public. I'm prepared to do all of those things. And additionally, I just want to say, again, to Richie, if you are watching this, this is guilty ass behavior. Guilty as charged anyways. Aside from that ruling, that is my verdict. Judge Judy, that is my verdict. I'm willing to still extend an olive branch to you, okay? Even though you're attempting to take my channel down, literally to take my livelihood from me, to take my job, even though you're attempting to do that, I will still extend an olive branch to you and extend an offer to you. If you have evidence to prove any of the claims I made to be incorrect, let me know. If you need to explain your side of the story and you want me to platform that, tell me. Listen, you have all my personal information. You have it all. You have my phone number, you have my email, you have my address, you have it all because I had to submit the counter notification, which has all that info. I don't have any of your personal info, but you sure as shit have all of mine. You know where to contact me. If there are things, if you have evidence or you just want to tell your side of the story, fucking text me, bro. Email me. Don't show up to my house. But
lol.
Email me. Text me. You call me. I don't know. I am more than
evil
willing to correct myself if you can prove something I'm saying to be false. But I don't think you can, because if you could, this is not what you'd be doing. But in the small chance, I am still willing to do that. I am willing to hear your side, and I am willing to share your side of the story on my platform, in my next video, in its own video, whatever. But yeah, so that's that. That's all the stuff Richie doesn't want you to know, apparently. Do with that what you will. I will continue to keep you guys updated. Yeah. I'm gonna go edit this video now and upload it, and I'm gonna try not to have my 20th panic attack for the day.
Okay.
So yeah, I will hopefully see you guys again soon. I hope this will be resolved soon. We will see. I don't know. Richie, go fuck yourself. I hate you. I am hater number one.
Based.
If you don't have haters, I'm
based.
Good. Yeah, cool.
But yeah, that is basically it for this part. I think it's an interesting topic. I was kind of hoping that this was going to be she did reference in that video, I only showed a brief part of, that she was going to upload a more concise, better version of her previous video that got taken down because of the strike. I do hope that her video does get put back up because I would love to cover it. The channel is Riley Elena. I'll post the video in the side chat if you guys want to look at it yourself. But I think it's incredibly suspicious that Social Repose would go ahead and delete all of that evidence pertaining to his knowledge of interacting and being aware of all these people he was around. What known predatory individuals, all this stuff in relation to orbitors. I think it's interesting every once in a while, again, seeing stuff crop up in relation to stuff from the whole Dramageddon side of YouTube from way back when. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. It's been very interesting. I'm very happy I managed to get stuff in relation to Give an Ant and Goat Cato out there and just get my opinions on it fully, okay? But yeah, I'm hoping that this stream can be used it's just the nail in the coffin on it. If there's anything of interest that comes out from it, in terms of any updates to the situation, I might return back to it. This is but with the social repose stuff, if there's updates on it, if there's like the larger video that comes out, I will probably cover it. I think it's an interesting topic. But yeah, without further ado, I think I'm gonna send you guys over to Himbleton. But yeah, thank you very much, guys, for stopping by.